Wisconsin high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I'm Scott Dolphin. The Brewers lost to the A's 7-5 in Las Vegas. Jackson Churio homered to give the crew an early lead. He and Sal Frelick each drove in a pair in the setback. Robert Gasser struck out 7, but he also gave up 6 earned runs. He gets tagged with the loss. The Athletics hit 5 more home runs last night. They now have 12 long balls in 2 games against the Brewers. The 2 teams wrap up their series at that minor league park in Vegas tonight. The Brewers also locked up another one of their top prospects yesterday. Milwaukee signed outfielder Luis Lara to a 7-year, $31 million contract extension. He's hitting .338 for AAA Nashville this year. He also has 7 home runs and 19 stolen bases. Packers are back on the practice field today for the second of 3 scheduled mini camp workouts this week. The Badgers land another top commitment yesterday. 3-star safety James Roberson announced his pledge to UW. He chose Wisconsin over offers from Mississippi State and TCU. And the Stanley Cup final is now tied at 2 after the Hurricanes' 5-3 win in Vegas. The Huddle is next. I'm Scott Dolphin on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake now! Everybody wake!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball y'all do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
It's a Wednesday morning in the good land. I'm Drew Olson. That's Bill Schmid. Armen Sarian's behind the glass. You smart, good-looking listeners are in the huddle. Not only are you in the huddle, you are in the 5 o'clock club.
Come on, it's open. Today is the day.
5 o'clock club is open for business today.
Hit that thing. Come on now.
Hit the button, Armen.
I did it. It's just I guess everything's moving a little slow at 5 a.m. here.
Well, no, listen, there's a build-up
to it. I got that little spinner there, but welcome to the 5 o'clock club, guys. It's off and it's running here at 5 a.m.
Yes.
And the texts are coming in hot and heavy as I'm getting the list ready right now. You will be awarded a number based on chronological order of your tweets or texts, excuse me, and or messages into the YouTube. So
yes, 877-794-1973 is the Velvet Rope. That's the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line where you can get a hold of us.
What, gin and tonic? What did you guys want?
It's
you
bottle
guys
service.
2 vanilla lights and the gin and tonic.
Hey, a double shot.
Double shot, X-Bomb.
When you walk out of this club, like any good club, when you walk out, the sun is up.
Yes, that is a great point, Drew. That is a part.
The sun is up now. The club, now Vegas, the city that never sleeps. Brewers offense went to sleep for the last 11, 12 batters last night.
I went to bed pretty quickly after that. Yep.
Brewers lose to the Athletics last night in Vegas. Are we still a fan of the little minor league ballpark Jackson? It was okay when Jackson Churio hit a home run in the first inning.
Dude, that was it is so wild to see. It's like
every fly ball has a chance to leave the yard.
Yes, it catches your breath every single time, and it is a sight to behold. Although the 7th, 8th, 9th inning said, well, we'll just K everything up.
So I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm not a purist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for progress in many things, including the games that we watch. But it's a little freakish for me. It's like you shouldn't be hanging on the edge of your seat when a guy hits a 95-mile-an-hour exit velo fly ball that carries, over the wall by like 50 feet. Like,
sure.
What? And you say, what other park would that be a home run in? Well, at the distance, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But with the exit velo and the launch angles that we're seeing, it's gimmicky. It's not like legit. And I feel for like the pitchers and the evaluators who have to watch guys go through that ballpark. Like the Las Vegas Aviators, I know you calibrate it, and I know that it forged some arms and steel for the Brewers with Woodruff and Burns and the guys who went through Colorado Springs. But unless you're the Rockies, like the Rockies can train at altitude because that's what their franchise has got to be.
That's where they'll go to, right?
If you're not, your hitters get an inflated sense of what hitting in the big leagues is, and your pitchers get battle scars. And I don't know that that's a good thing. Now, I don't know how the new park in Vegas is going to play or what they're going to do to mitigate things. It'll be an indoor.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be indoors. There'll be a lot of different humidors that roll through there that will definitely be mitigating factors. I struggle to be that upset about it, but I understand why the hardest of hardcores and folks that have been around this game for a long time don't love to see it. But from a fan perspective, that is as entertaining as baseball has ever been. And I get that it's gimmicky. It's weird. That's why it's a week, right? It is a week in the longest and most mundane season of all professional sports, right? Like, even though we rip on the NBA regular season, we rip on or just don't watch the NHL regular season. There is nothing that has more monotony and more day in and day out of the exact same thing that you watch than Major League Baseball. And to have it be completely different and up on its head, I think it's awesome. Now, I understand, Drew, what you just said of the talent evaluators and how this rolls through. I mean, I don't know. A's definitely might want to move spots because I don't know that you're going to be building that much of a fan base in the same spot. But like, there's a lot to it. You got to get over it. Like, there's part of it. You play half the games at home, half the games on the road. But if it's tough, then the tough get going or the tough get out. Like, I mean, that A's lineup, they might have an inflated sense of where their homers are coming from. But they got a lot of homers coming in that lineup when you're looking at Soderstrom, Kurtz and company. So I like it, but I do understand that I'm now in the minority.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you, Billy. That's kind of the way I've approached this in terms of it's a goofy ballpark and it's a novelty in terms of what things are happening. But what did your coach always tell you? Both teams are playing with the same park.
Both teams are playing.
Right? Both teams are playing here, and the goal is to try and beat your opponent and whatever the circumstances and conditions are. And that's the number one thing I'm kind of concerned, not concerned about, but I concern myself with during these games. Whether it's unusual or not, that's no different than playing in a snow game or playing in the wind. And like you said, Billy, it's a one series. Like it's not the end of the world. It's one series. This is we'll look back and remember this in the long slog desert cross of a season as the gimmick series, whatever, however you want to look at it. But it's like, it's not like it's a new rule in the game that every game is going to be played there. It's one time, one gimmick, and that's fine. It is what it is. It's sort of like,
you equated to the snow game. I think that's a really good one.
The snow game's a good one because it's like, it's not a normal game, but it's not what you normally see.
And they're not playing this in the playoffs.
So I'm not worried necessarily about does this mean certain things for certain guys, or what kind of outing did Harrison have? You kind of, not that you throw it out, the wins matter, but you kind of throw out the analysis of it, knowing that it was just an irregular location for a series. And I don't know, it was one of the novelties of the season. Yeah, like you said, Billy, it's one series, you get over it and you move on with it and you try and win 2 out of 3. And that's what the Brewers are going to do. So it doesn't upset me as much as it's upsetting some, just because I know that it's not a permanent, I don't know how else to describe it. It's not permanent. I mean, we're going to be over with it soon. So it's weird.
Yeah, there's no deciding if we have to maybe find a way to have all playoff games indoors so we don't have the factors of like the AFC title game in the snow.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because both teams are going to have to play in it. So I don't hate it. I actually really enjoy it. But I would probably, if I would have known this was the case, Drew, I definitely would have taken the week off and gone. Right? Like, this would have been, if I knew that balls were going to be flying all over the place, this would have been the trip that I definitely would have taken. Albeit, we'll watch it on TV, and it's highly entertaining that way. I mean, that 4-hour game with the bombs that they were hitting on Monday night, crazy. And then, listen, everybody was still playing in the altitude in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And, the tough get going at that point. and the over still hits at 7-5 decision. Now you just try to get up out of there. If you win the series, cool. If you don't, you're still at a winning road trip, and you'll feel pretty good about it coming back home against the Phillies.
That's what matters.
This is true. Brewers lose 7-5 to the Athletics. The finale is tonight. Robert Gasser gets the loss. He didn't pitch horribly. A long outing for him by his standard, right?
In reality, you kind of just needed some more depth out of him, right? They're in a spot where, as much as you want the great line to look beautiful, you just need to continue to chew through some stuff.
He was Peralta-esque in that he needed 93 pitches to navigate 5 innings, but it was 93 pitches. He hasn't thrown that many.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he's building up, kind of gave up 8 hits, and 4 of them left the yard. And again, like the A's hit, 7 homers on Tuesday and on Monday, and 5 last night.
Yep, and 5 last night.
And, maybe this type of park does kind of acquiesce more to a home run team. We're not. So, hey, that's the disadvantage you have in not being that style. Good thing it's not our home park. That's all you can say. I did read, though, that I think it was only Soderstrom's that would have gone out in no other parks. So that was the one that was, I guess, gimmicky, and the rest would have gone out to some parks. So
the Brewers, I'm looking at the extended box score, and Gasser did have 4 fly ball outs, and Coleman Crowe had 3. So the A's had more fly ball outs than home runs. The Brewers only made 3 outs in the air, only 3 fly outs.
There we go.
In the game. So fly balls just leave the yard.
Yeah.
You get it in the air, it's leaving the yard.
So you got to either strike guys out or get them to ground it up and turn it over. That's just the way the strategy goes.
Well, in that case, then it definitely just not as much of a Brewer spot. They hit more ground balls than anybody in baseball. Yeah. So it's also a tough matchup. I thought one of the
Brewers, by the way, punched out 13 times.
Yeah, that's un-Brewers like.
That's un-Brewers like, and the A's struck out 8 times.
And to see Coleman Crowe coming out of the bullpen, like you start seeing
all hands on deck, baby.
All hands on deck. Let's get up out of here. Get to the off day, because that's the other part. This is a 13 games and 13 day stretch that they're on. This is one of the longest stretches of playing every single day that they have all year long. And their first off day in June comes tomorrow. So as much as you got to win every day, and that's going to be the Murph mantra whenever they're playing games, you do kind of start wondering, now we're going to do everything we can to just get to the off day and get ourselves a chance to recoup and get yourself back to even, where, again, you're watching that team. The altitude is a little bit different in Coors Field, no doubt. The 3 decks definitely help it. But that Rockies offense had enough fun last night against that Cubs team as well. So no ground loss there.
All right, so who's in the club? The club is open. 877-794-1973, NicoleLaw.com talk and text line. Dan in West Bend, open the bidding. Said the Brewers better call up Lara this year so Armen can buy his wife her own customized jersey for Christmas.
So true. I love it for a couple reasons. I want to continue to make sure she's outfitted in Brewers blue, and I need to always think of ideas for gifts. Okay, guys. Also, her birthday's coming up. I always need gift ideas because I feel like his dudes were running out all the time. So thank you, Dan in West Bend. That's a great point. I hope he's called up soon so I can at least get a T-shirt jersey. And congrats on being in the 5 o'clock club. And the thing is, Dan did text, I think, that before 5, so you have to re-text in again to get an official spot. But my spot, I'm getting them a rundown here, guys. I'll be sharing the doc with you, but we already have 20 plus cooking here on the club, so everyone will have their number soon. We'll make
so. Our friend Buddy Pal in Kenosha hit us up at 4:20 in the morning. He said, Buddy Pal, I'm checking in. I walk the dogs on the beach before the rest of the house wakes up and drives me crazy, but we're having fun.
Yeah.
So, Buddy, we need it again. We need to hear it again. Like Matt and Racine, he said, I'm a 5 a.m. clubber. Well, he was clubbing up earlier. He was at 4:48. So we need to get reinstituted right at 5.
Yep, you got it. And Matt from Racine did text back. So I
let
everyone know.
Reward people for their initiative if they're up before. Well, because when we fire up the stream, you can join the stream before we start, and people do that.
Well,
so Armen, a point of contention, I would say.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Also,
the 5 o'clock club.
I just wanted to be fair.
If you want to be in the front of the line, it's like the people at the health club waiting to get in. Who do we broadcast to this hour? Well, the hardcores, The
right.
early risers, the insomniacs, and the sociopaths who are waiting to get into the health club before they open.
That's
waiting
true.
to get, that first crack at their favorite treadmill.
And I almost feel like when we would go up for Packers training camp, I felt an obligation, even though they didn't care or know who I was, to like broadcast to the folks that were already sitting in the stands at Lambeau or at Ray Nitschke Field.
I'm with you.
They were sitting out there well before the gates opened.
Listen, I'm not questioning the point that these guys are diehards. I just we wanted to cut off a certain time yesterday, make it 5 a.m. just because I didn't want someone to text, for instance, at 8 p.m.
Well, it's got to
be, and that's fair.
All
that's
it's
fair.
Gotta, if you're within the hour,
I might give a couple, but everyone will have a spot. I just don't know if they're going to be. Number one was Red Hot Tim Knotts. So.
I do like though, stack it up there and then roll back. You're all good on that.
Yeah, I think that's fair because we did set out the rules, so I wouldn't want
like our friend Dave in Arkansas. He was dialed in at 4:58 on his way to work. I don't know that he's already on his way to work. We don't want him texting back in on his way to work.
Right,
we don't want to have any problems there. No. But Dave in Arkansas, welcome right back because he hit it again as I was saying it at 5:15.
Yep, and
these people are prompt, dude.
And he's number 17. So congrats, Dave in Arkansas. Yeah. The thing is, too, I'm like, was that Eastern time, Central time? But no, it doesn't matter. We're working on Central time.
Doesn't matter.
We're working off Central time.
Yeah, doesn't matter. The Barrister hit us up. I'm usually up when you start. He's with us. Barrister's been with us for a long time. Smart and good-looking listener. Jeffrey from Milwaukee. Good morning, Huddle crew. Love the new 5 a.m. club. Happy to join the others who are psychopaths that are up this early.
Let's go.
Yes, the club is hot and it's
Aaron from Fondy checking in. We knew Statman Steve, official photographer of the Huddle, would be up because that's what he does.
Yep, he's
taking
number
pictures
4
of sunrises.
Buddy Steve in the 608 already up with us, and up in Merrill they're listening to us in the 715. We talked about 608 day that passed through on Monday. 715 day is going to go hard up there for the Hodags.
Yep.
David, he's got the eggs, or he said, is it too early to start drinking? Well, it depends on what kind of drink is in that cup. Also, I mean, if you're a third shifter, then I mean, it's probably right on time to be starting up there.
Close. Yeah, getting close. Jay Bravo in Dubuque. 5 o'clocker from day one.
Yes, he's number 9.
It's my official text to join this exclusive group, which is a great honor.
Now, buddy Pal from Kenosha is also Paul on our YouTube stream. So that's a little bit of a challenge I'm dealing with. So if you
dual identities,
if you do go by one identity, just let me know so I can make sure I don't double up on names.
And
here.
Janny and Appleton is signed up as well.
Janny is number 15. Thanks for being in. So we're getting you in chronological order, and we'll announce the list or publish it somehow. I don't know the best way to do it. Yeah.
Now this will fire me up. Jason, the electrician. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm listening to you on my way to work in Florida. Have a great day. We hung out with Jason at it was either Brewapalooza or Nooner Day. I believe Brewapalooza. Him and the boys came, and he was telling me, he's like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that I can do any more of these winters. I don't know that I can do any more of these winters. I might be taking my talents to Florida. Glad we made it down to the beautiful sunshine state there, Jason, the electrician. That means that you get an hour of work in before we even fire up. That makes it even more fun.
That's right.
I don't even know if numbers are important. Once you're in the club, you're in the club.
You're in.
Let's do a roster.
All you need is a chip and a share.
I guess you could do almost like uniform numbers, but
I think that's what it is. People like having an identity.
It's our roster, it's not a ranking.
Right.
Like, is number 6 in the club less significant than number 3 or number 40? No,
number 69. They
you're
can all
in
hit
the club.
Yeah,
_69 on your AOL.
Damn straight.
Back in the day, your instant messenger.
Yeah, 17 male Cali.
So we're very excited to welcome everybody here to the 5 o'clock club. Now, how will we mark the 5 o'clock club? Well, we're going to do what we usually do because we generally, when we have a feature, today, for example, is Hot Take Hump Day. Mm-hmm. We fire that up at 6. So you 5 o'clockers have been getting kind of exclusive programming anyway, but now we're just recognizing that if you're with us in this first hour, it should feel special. It should feel like an exclusive. You are a club within the club. If you're in the huddle, you're in the huddle. If you listen to the huddle, but then you're in an exclusive part of the huddle. Everybody likes to feel like a VIP.
Drew, that is very true. And we got a lot of very important people here. We got a lot of important people, but card carrying members and get some of those exclusive benefits and special perks, like the Ask Me Anything hour that Armen Sarian busts out every once in a while during this 5 o'clock. People forget that.
Full disclosure, AMA, Ask Me Anything. And you're right. Everybody does like to feel like a VIP.
Armen, Buddy Pal just said what? I'm Buddy Pal from Kenosha. The one and only no YouTube.
Whoa!
All right. So who's Paul K from Kenosha that says on Kenosha? Hold on. It says, I'm Paul from Kenosha.
I am Paul. Buddy Pal said my name is actually Josh.
All right. All right, so Buddy Pal and Paul and Kenosha are actually different people.
Look at you spreading this misinformation.
No,
Welcome inside.
You wrote it in there.
Inside the club.
You give
You guys are hacking me.
You give one Armenian kid who's the prom king a clipboard at the door. He got a tuxedo and a clipboard at the door, and he thinks he's got authority over the entire kingdom here.
I can be bribed.
Come on.
By the way, Paul from Kenosha said my mom's medical alert woke me up. I hope she's all right. I love your show. I hope you have 1 million club members. Thank you, buddy. All right.
All right.
Paul
Well, that's
from
what we're
Kenosha,
looking for.
You are no longer going to be that number 5 because that's Buddy Pal. So, Paul, I'm going to have to give you number 19.
Right. And again, this is just
a number to have.
It's a roster. It's not a ranking.
No.
So therefore, it's like you're in it and you're going to be on the list. And if we wanted to, we could make the list alphabetical. Armen, you can enter these, and there are
shake it around.
There are devices on these computers of ours that'll alphabetize, or we can do it sort of any which way we want.
Well, I got the numerical list going because
there you
everyone
go.
wants a uniform number. I feel like
Yeah,
it's
I guess.
not a ranking. Everyone knows.
Well, then
the guy that Drew, they didn't hand out a lot of jerseys.
I want my number.
They get a lot of the
if
jerseys.
someone's going to have a
Wants to get
jersey
one.
with number like 270.
Yeah,
on it?
because if I don't have a number, I'm not a legit part of the team. I had the practice jersey enough that was blank. All right, we don't need a blank jersey here. Everyone's got to have a.
I don't know. You could be like Jake Skoll for the party animals. Have a sweet X.
Or fine, that's true. I wanted to get my Russ Ball $sign jersey still at one point.
There's a lot of different options there.
You're right, Billy. This might be unresolved trauma from my manager days. That's a good point.
I picked that one up right away. I
just
apologize.
a polo shirt. I want a uniform.
Yeah.
All right?
Can I actually have the jersey? Well, we don't have any more. We could make you one. Does it have a number on it? Also the Luis Lara, Armen, you jogged my memory. You could just do what I saw a cat doing last week at the Brewers Giants game. He already had the Jesus Made.
I saw that.
Already had the Made. No number.
I think I saw a picture of that.
No number.
Just a blank.
Just the blank and the name
smart.
on the top.
He's ready to go.
He was ready to go. He ain't wasting any time. And he said, hey, I already have the jersey, so you might as well call him up. Cat's getting a lot of cash, Drew. $30 million before playing in the big leagues. It is a different sport. That is an awesome one.
Brewers are going about it in a different way, and so far it's working. All right, we're off and running. The 5 o'clock club is open. Come get your glow stick. Come get your Red Bull infused cocktail of choice.
Yeah, sugar-free Red Bull's going up right now, I feel
I'm
like.
more of a Celsius guy myself, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know about mixing this with booze.
Yeah, it just I
know that I need that.
Tasted a Red Bull vodka a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow.
I used to drink
3 of these a night.
Yeah.
And then switch to beer. Getting too drunk, switching to beer.
Not positive. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, we're off and running. It's a hot take hump day. We're glad you're with us, 5 o'clock clubbers. Let's make it happen today. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
It don't matter if you call me last. I got the call.
Cruising through a Wednesday in the Good Land. It's the 5 o'clock club, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, and streaming live for you insomniacs, early risers, sociopaths, 5 o'clock clubbers.
Now, for those of you
Facebook,
on the
X, and YouTube.
For those of you on the Facebook, X, and YouTube stream, we're sorry you can't hear these absolute bangers I'm laying down here. Okay?
Yeah, rocking it out right now, dude.
Absolute bangers.
Yeah,
okay,
we are
but
definitely
only certain things I can do about it.
We're definitely doing the.
Yeah, we're hitting it.
Now, this was a great
thing.
Butabi Brothers.
Yes.
Drew reminds you when you had Chris Kattan in studio.
Yes.
Great stories from him.
Great.
SNL legend.
He was a gentle man, but man, yeah, he's like, he's all beat up. He took his physical comedy took a toll. He's had back surgeries, neck surgeries. He hurt himself on Saturday Night. Basically broke his neck on Saturday Night.
Oh, jeez.
When he was on
ended up like
stage,
suing NBC.
Talk
and
about
stuff.
committing to the bit. Okay,
Yeah.
he
here
was
we go.
he was a fireball on stage.
Yeah.
He went for it. Commit to the bit. 100%.
Yeah.
He always went for it. So
He liked that. I was plumbing those depths with him. I'm like, your physical comedy, like there are guys like Michael Richards from Seinfeld, like the physicality of his comedy and the entrances. In fact, I just saw something the other day that when and Armen's a big Seinfeld guy, so that when they had the studio audience and they had to tell them to kind of ease up because his entrances got so popular, people would go nuts and it would screw up the timing of the show. So they had to don't applaud during that. Don't react when he comes in. Like
don't lose. Yeah, sure.
Lose your bleep. Keep it, tone it down.
The live studio audience, they'd clap for
they'd go
20 seconds.
Yeah,
and it would kill the.
It'd kill the timing.
Stand there waiting to talk.
Exactly.
So it would kill the timing of that.
The timing. So obviously, they had to kind of coach them that way. But I asked him about who were your inspirations, because he came from the groundlings and improv background. I'm like, who are your inspirations for that? Like Buster Keaton and the silent film stars, and he was talking about guys like that. And he was into it, man. Every once in a while, you tap a vein with a guest, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't the normal crap about what was it like, working with Will
Can
Ferrell?
I do the head thing? Yeah.
So he got into it, and I thought we had a good conversation with him. And I had heard that he was a little bit reserved and
I was gonna look gun-shy on going back to
him
it.
out, but we got him going a little bit, and we had a nice conversation with Chris
Kattan.
I had a good interaction.
That does have to be a little bit difficult because he's obviously so known for it, but when that kind of trauma is a part of it, right? And that kind of actual physical ailment is a part of it. It's not the easiest thing to just harken back to and celebrate. But when you're celebrated for it, I also wonder, have we kind of lost a little bit of that, the pure, just straight physical comedy? Or is it just like we just try to see people do the craziest stuff and hurt themselves anyway?
Well, I think the show Jackass kind of lowered the bar.
Well, once I saw Johnny Knoxville taking, the everything possible to the nuts, no pause. That kind of changed a lot of the deal.
Well, a lot of comedies, the viral stuff now that you see, the prank videos on social media, but it was the sketch comedy, the Chris Farleys of the world that did all that. Yeah.
I grew up watching reruns of the Dick Van Dyke Show when in the opening sequence he trips over the ottoman and would fall. It was like the pratfall was always a big part of comedy, and the spit take, and But yeah, different ways to go about it. I don't think we'll ever lose that. There will be guys, but yeah, Michael Richards, the physicality was something
amazing.
It's
amazing what he did in some of those episodes.
There is something. We are a simple society. Somebody having a little bit of physical pain does always.
What's funnier than guys getting hit in the nuts? Which is what's funnier than sports fans getting hit in the nuts?
Not much.
Knicks fans the other night. Las Vegas Golden Knights
fans last night.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Son of a
Brewers fans last night. Cubs fans the last month.
I was gonna say, ever since.
Kicked in the nuts.
And when they tied that game last night, Billy, in the second, I'm like, all right, they're in Vegas. They tied it. Here we go. But Carolina, to their credit, Jordan Stahl came back and got the win.
And shout out to the goaltender that they had, Brandon Bussey. He was the first undrafted first-year goalie to start in Stanley Cup final game.
It's wild.
And then go and win it on the road. That's a hell of a way to roll.
That is wild. All right, 877-794-1973. Just, pop in, say hi, and you'll be added to the 5 o'clock club. It's just, we're not going to be, this is not a velvet rope club. We're letting everybody in,
Yeah.
It's just but inside the club, there might be different areas where it's, roped off, where Bieber's getting his bottle service, and you might not be able to get to that part, but kid, everybody.
You'll be able to rumble around.
Drinks are flowing. Good vibes are flowing. We're going to
But Armen's got the sparklers.
I got the sparklers.
That's the important part, is that you have the glow sticks. You have the sparklers once somebody does go and buy the bottle service.
Sure.
To rumble through.
Oh, that little sign.
Yeah, 100%. It's Huddle Up time.
All right, I'll be that guy if you want me to be that guy.
That was the official kickoff of the Party Animals game on Sunday.
Oh, is the sign they came through? I didn't say.
They come through and they started out with Party Animals bottle service, and it was a 4-month-old. And the question was, will he take the bottle? And my man started sucking that thing down. He's like, wait a second, let me see that thing real quick. Excuse me, Mom. I got it with my hands. I'm going to be okay. Took control and took over. Corey from the 715, been listening to you boys since the Huddle started. He's checking in for the 5 o'clock hour. Enjoy listening to your program. And your unique personalities, they blend well together. Even if a season is long, you inject enthusiasm any way you can. Thank you. Let's go 608.
Appreciate that. Can I use that in my one day if I write a book? I can put that on like the little, the book flap, the book jacket as like a quote, like a recommendation. I love the way
no one's buying hardcovers anymore, Armen.
No,
I apologize.
Well, it's going to be on Kindle too one day. It'll be sold 10 years after Geezer Palooza. Megan in West Bend is Pink Flamingo BN. Now, Megan, I got you on
Megan.
there. You have a number there. I'm going to have to go check the list, but you're on there. Megan in West Bend, working mom. I'm up with you 5 a.m. every morning. Let's go, Megan. We love to hear that. Yes, that's right. We got all kinds of, we got all kinds of people. The farmers, the blue collar workers, the working moms. They're up early all the time, and we're here for you. So we love that.
You know what's wild? And it dawns on me that we are on the cusp of the World Cup here. And the 5 o'clock club is a real thing if you are a fan of both, European Premier League, mostly soccer, and going to bars. Because on weekends,
they fire up early. You're right. Yes.
People that fire up and go to places to watch matches and over drinks. I'm not sure like what the soccer bars in the 608, but in Milwaukee, you got the Highbury, you got Nomad
always.
A lot of they blocked off Brady Street for the last World Cup. But those people have been part of that 5 o'clock club. And now that it is in our hemisphere and it's in, it's going to be, those bars are going to see spikes at times when people normally go to bars.
Yeah, 100%.
Games and afternoon games and not 5 and 6 a.m., which is kind of a different trip. So let's tip our caps to people who are in the 5 o'clock club on Saturday and Sunday and get up early and crack beers and have drinks early to watch their beloved teams on the pitch.
And you go to Nomad and you get a PBR and a smoke for $4. That deal is still one of my absolute favorite ones.
Well, they expanded. Well, you could get like a shot, a beer, and a smoke.
Whoa, okay, Nomad, come on now.
There was, yeah.
That's a kickoff in and of itself. Yeah. That's the start that you need.
Good bundle. That's a good bundle. So. Yeah, we're in our stuff during the week. Those people have been doing that on weekends and getting after it quite early. And now I just thought about that as those bars are going to. I hope that I'm sure they're going to do very well during this.
You would think it would be robust. Do you think it would be bigger now than at least for them than it would be if it was international, right? Like the amount of folks that in the South African World Cup probably maybe had one day. Now you might be able to go over there 3 or 4 days and watch matches.
Absolutely.
That's a heck of a difference.
I do think once upon a time there was an exclusivity deal where those were the only places that would air some matches. Now everything World Cup is going to be aired, obviously accessible, but there was a thing with those bars that you could find soccer on there, right? Where not every bar has that. However, I will say this, the other factor is you want to join and you want to collectively, gather with your community. And that's a big thing for sports fans as well. So it's not just that, the game's going to be on, other soccer fans will be there. And that's a big thing because it adds to the experience. I know I've watched World Cup games at the Nomad on Brady, just because that's part of the experience is gathering with other people that are into the same thing you are. It's like the 5 o'clock club. It's like a coin club. It's like a book club. It's like a stamp club. It's like the bird watchers club. It's like pick whatever you want. That's, that's the reason people do it. So even though the games are more accessible now than ever before on TV in terms of streaming and stuff, I still think people will be gathering to
for
watch
sure.
those games
the
together.
communal experience is something different. It does bring people out, and there's something more to it, I think, when it is marquee event. Right, as much as the high fat. Thank you, Drew. Mm-hmm. There's a status check to it. I saw a lot of people saying that about the Brewers new premium spot, that it's more of a status spot. And are you getting the hardcore fans in there? Well, I think there's a decent amount of fans that go there for the fun. There's a lot that go just for the baseball, and then there's some that do go for the fashion of it and the excitement of it. But it's whatever floats your boat and whatever gets you into the park. You'll have more fun. Jason in Green Bay. A lot of us 5 o'clock club members are blue collar. I hope that won't be a problem for Armen.
Not at all. Are you kidding me? I'm one of you. I wear a blue collar.
That seems like a pretty black collar over there right now.
Yeah,
a little white to it.
This Under Armour polo is the black collar, but
Iron Jock polo. That's a sweet
what did
Iron
I
Jock
say?
polo.
What did I say? Sorry
That's
about
a sweet Iron Jock polo.
My Iron Jock polo is black, but I do have a blue one as well. So
I'm wearing Iron Jock today. Shout out to Paul Hansen and the Father's Day bundles available at ironjoc.com through Father's Day.
Little brain fart there. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely.
I slept in my Iron Jock last night. My Iron Jock t-shirt.
It's nice.
Well hung that bad boy up because your boy was cooking in there last night. And these are gonna be sauna days. These are hot, humid, and walk right through the water walk.
We're looking at some storms in the offing for the next couple of days as well. So humid storms.
Our friend Janny is up at the cabin, and she sent us the radar. That looks frightening for our folks up in the 715. Everyone be safe up there.
Stay safe.
Be safe up there.
Be safe in the club.
But we can always use a little bit of a. I mean, we're not in Utah, but I think everybody could use a little soak because it is there's some dry ground out there.
Yeah, we can use a little bit of water on the lawn, a little bit. In a safe manner.
Good,
manner. Consistent soak.
We don't need 75-mile-an-hour winds. We don't need any of that stuff.
No, just a nice soaking.
877-794-1973. So Hot Take Hump Day is going to fire up after 6. So the 5 o'clock club, we like to keep it loosey here.
Well, we got some 5 o'clock members that are already lining up their hot takes.
There's going to be some hot takes. We touched on it yesterday, but a lot of people are spouting hot takes about the Brewers and their decision to create this exclusive club and to have the revamp the first 6 rows of the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that.
I'm excited for that. A lot
of layers to that discussion. And, that's one of the things we are going to hit on. And plenty of layers of that onion that we're going to peel back.
There's a ton of it. And Tommy and Salas did just bring up a great question for us. Is the club really open if there's not a Hunter dance party?
Well, no. Hunter,
do you think we could? Do we think that we could get a spotlight feature dance from Hunter Baumgart here into the club at one particular point in time? You're gonna have to be here to find out.
Yeah,
that's the exclusive membership perks that you're getting as a card-carrying member of the 5 o'clock club. You'll get that direct message,
and we get to rub elbows because we have a celebrity in our midst now. The newest member of the 5 o'clock club here on the Huddle is none other than Dr. Dave Margolis. The number one Bucks fan and friend of the program has checked in.
Let's go,
Dr. Dave has checked in. Oh, Billy's giving the salute. Let's do it.
Come on.
How does he do that? My shoulder hurts.
Thank you. And if Matt LaFleur was going to go back to the come-ons, got to go study at the Dr. Dave school because his come-on was a little bit weak. Dr. Dave, I mean, he gets full extension. He damn near hits the other elbow or the other shoulder there. It's so good.
It's quite impressive. Quite impressive.
Well, you numbered at 41 if you wanted Dr. Dave, although that was Nikola Miratich's number.
It's funny how the universe works because yesterday I was walking my dog and I bumped into a woman on the street who had a golden retriever who had a bandana with IU on it, an Indiana bandana. I said, hey, congratulations on your national championship. And she said, well, thanks. I'm still excited about it. I said, well, yeah. And she was, Billy, about your age. And I said, well, I'm old enough to remember when that was a basketball school. And she laughed. And then it made me think of Dr. Dave, and then he's checking in for the Huddle.
And he's
the
live
universe
with
works
us.
in
Let's
mysterious
go.
ways. Yesterday, I thought of Dr. Dave because he's an IU guy, and now he's checking in as a member of the 5 o'clock club.
I thought of Dr. Dave when I saw Joey Ortiz's hair. I was like, wait, he's got to go get that thing greened up by Dr. Dave.
Exactly.
Now he's got a fresh palette. Now he's got to go change it up a little bit.
Anything for the gods, like he needs Joe Boo or he needs something.
Yes, he needs to go see Dr. Dave and get that thing painted up.
There. But shout out to our friend Dr. Dave, who's up early helping people and helping kids with cancer and
thank you
people and being a
You're the best,
high functioning member of society, unlike us who sit here pretending to be in the
sit on our asses and talk.
But it's what we do. It's the life we've chosen. We're having some fun. We're glad you're with us. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. 5 o'clock club underway. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on the Huddle. We're glad you're with us for this first hour of the program. Shout out to all you early risers, insomniacs, and some of you sociopaths, especially those of you who are getting that workout in already. Seizing the day.
How
Carpe diem, everybody.
Carpe diem. And how heartwarming is it to see how many we still have in the 5 o'clock club? You know, I know you guys are bleary-eyed in the morning, so you don't always text, but it's good to know you're out there because you're texting us today. So we're happy to see it. And the list is growing, guys. Obviously, we're past 50, and I just haven't gotten to all the names yet. So I'm putting them all in
it's past 500 already?
It's great.
What did I say? 5 Buffalo. Yeah.
Well, it's great just to have everybody checking in. And this is like this
me.
little prompt. It's energizing for us to know you're out there. We know you're out there, but it's energizing for us for you to say, hey, so welcome to the club.
Dude, especially Drew, some of our mainstays, some of our friends, or like Jeff from Chicago, which we got to change because now it's Jeff from Atlanta because he's grabbing his spot in the 5 a.m. club.
All right.
And folks, if you got the name on the text, that means that you had texted for a long time. But now that we're seeing it again, we get even more excited. Like Chris and Muskego is able to hit us up. My first club since 4-H. 30 years ago.
The 4-H is a big deal still in a lot of parts of the state. You know, that's a big deal.
So I'm glad that you're back into a club and feel exclusive. Marcus in Iowa. Yeah, but is it a club when every member of the club would rather sleep through team activities? Maybe. However, Marcus, who knows? Maybe there is a 5 o'clock club nap time that happens one of these days. You're just going to have to be here to find out. We all might just take a nap on air.
That's a good point. Hey, what do they say, Billy? What do the kids say? We all fam in the club. We all fam in the club. Isn't that what the kids say now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We all fam
I'm sorry, Armen. I wish I had better one for you there. I have never heard that before in my life.
Reference? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a Paw Patrol one that we're hitting up? Or?
I think I looked that up on Kids Day at the Admiral.
But I'll be honest with you, I'm not up on it because my wife brought this thing to my attention over the last couple of days. And I didn't realize it was trending on TikTok for about a year and a half of this, the Puerto Rico song. My man made an AI generated song about his trip to Puerto Rico. And it had, 15 million views on TikTok. It had a feature on Good Morning America. And I mean, it's lived rent free in my head for the last 48 hours because I haven't stopped singing the 4 lines of it. So I'm not the best guy. I wish I was. Armen, I think I'm out of that time where I'm up with the kids.
Yeah.
I think we got to go straight to Hunter with that one.
I think we do.
Because he will definitely know that information for us. He's hanging out with a lot more kids.
Yeah. Well, yes. Okay. I get your point you're trying to make. We got one from Don Shaver. Crew just wanted the game to end in time so they could go gambling last night. Lack of timely hits compared to the game before. Well, I don't know that they were doing that. I'm sure they were all in bed early. All right. But I think the fans maybe got a chance to go back to the casino.
There was some... There were some pictures going out there of an iced coffee and a couple of hands of blackjack that were going around for a certain outfielder, which is pretty sweet to see at the Aria.
You're in town, so I was curious where they were staying. When the Packers were in Green Bay, they were way off the strip, right? Red Rocks or something like that.
You stayed at Red Rock, but that's right across the street from this baseball park. So
right.
I don't know that that's exactly where you'd want the team to be staying, and maybe they are staying at the Aria. There's some beautiful spots that they could be over. Maybe the Vidara. Maybe they got a couple of nice little floor of some condos that they could rent out there for a week.
The Vidara's converted condos. You're right, Billy. So bigger suites. Tim from Wyoming checking in for the club. We're all over the country. Well, that's one thing you get when you're listening. Watching on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Yeah. So, welcome everybody.
Dude, there's so many in here. What about our friend Mike P from the 574 hanging out in South Bend, Indiana, checking into the club? He's close to the new home of the Chicago Bears, potentially. Mike needs to be able to check us out and how the folks in Indiana are enjoying it. Jeff and Delavan up with us. We got friend Nathan Waukesha is a card-carrying member now. So everybody that is in here, enjoy the last couple of minutes of exclusivity because now we're going to welcome in all the other folks that are just walking up and just trying to get themselves in.
Nick from Sussex trying to start a conversation at the club. Billy, with the confirmed extended timeline of not having Parsons, does it make sense to go and get Josh Sweat or a title chaser end like Bosa or Miller?
Yeah, the last two, yes, Drew. And I'm actually wondering when that move potentially happens. But I think for a lot of the vets, you're seeing this as well on the running back market. Because I also don't know the Packers are for sure not going to go grab another number 2 back that you feel a little more confident with. But for a lot of the the Deebo Samuels of the world at the wide receiver spot, the Austin Ecklers of the world, Najee Harris, or Joey Bosa and Von Miller, like he mentioned. I think teams know what those guys kind of are. You don't necessarily know for sure what they are this year, but you want to get as many looks and as many reps for your young guys as possible. And then in that little police blotter season right after mini camp finishes, once you get to July 26th, that's when you start doing the mathematics of, okay, Colin Oliver's a nice player. I don't know that we can count on him for a lot of snaps. I don't know that we can really go to Brenton Cox. So you get all your looks now, and then those guys' markets, I think, materialize in a couple of weeks.
I love that. That is, so that'll be a late developing market. Another thing we got to look for, and we will talk about as Hot Take Hump Day officially rumbles on for the 6 o'clockers, is that we might be entering the final days of a Giannis era in Milwaukee.
That's true.
Feels closer and closer.
To be some more smoke, and it's starting to be smoke drifting towards Miami more and more.
He wants to go make the South Beach Bucks. I'm, all power to him. He looks sweet on these Instagram posts that he's putting out, though.
Down in Greece.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
high fashion, them glasses that he's got rocking right now.
He's a cool looking guy.
He's getting ready for South Beach.
The question is, what will be left for him there if the trade is made? That's
a huge question. And if the Bucks get Khalil Ware, the guy you can build around him and Jeng,
Tyler's name has been bandied about.
Obviously. And then Tyler Hero, of course, but they might flip him.
I was just going to say, Drew, as much as I would love to have a Whitnell High School Falcon playing on the Milwaukee Bucks, that asset might be moved off for more pieces that could potentially help you pretty quickly.
All right, so we are the club has been open. Shout out to everybody who checked in. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the interaction. It was great to see everybody. It's nice to see the text line moving like the stock ticker.
It's
like
beautiful.
It used to in the afternoons for us.
And CJ and Madison said, I'm a proud member since day one. Best part, no cover charge.
Absolutely.
For now.
Cover charge. For now. Well, we'll see.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Armen always looking for extra revenue. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll fire up Hot Take Hump Day next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Scott Dolphin. The Brewers lost to the A's 7-5 in Las Vegas. Jackson Churio homered to give the crew an early lead. He and Sal Frelick each drove in a pair in the setback. Robert Gasser struck out 7, but he also gave up 6 earned runs. He gets tagged with the loss. The Athletics hit 5 more home runs last night. They now have 12 long balls in 2 games against the Brewers. The 2 teams wrap up their series at that minor league park in Vegas tonight. The Brewers also locked up another one of their top prospects yesterday. Milwaukee signed outfielder Luis Lara to a 7-year, $31 million contract extension. He's hitting .338 for AAA Nashville this year. He also has 7 home runs and 19 stolen bases. Packers are back on the practice field today for the second of 3 scheduled mini camp workouts this week. The Badgers land another top commitment yesterday. 3-star safety James Roberson announced his pledge to UW. He chose Wisconsin over offers from Mississippi State and TCU. And the Stanley Cup final is now tied at 2 after the Hurricanes' 5-3 win in Vegas. The Huddle is next. I'm Scott Dolphin on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Wednesday in the Good Land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. I'm Drew Wilson, joined by Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian. We're here at headquarters, bringing it to you 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Shout out to our 5 o'clock club members.
Yes.
We roll forward and welcome everybody who joins us at 6 a.m. if the alarm hits at that juncture. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, especially to everybody who stayed up until the end of the Brewers game, which was not quite as long last evening, nor was it as satisfying as the Brewers succumb to the Oakland/Sacramento/Las Vegas Athletics. It's Hot Take Hump Day. We're going to fire those up, 877-794-1973. And as long as we're talking about last night's proceedings, here's a hot take. The Oakland Athletics/Vegas Athletics/Sacramento, wherever they are, the nomadic athletics, their uniforms are understatedly cool.
Oh, Drew, very true. Very, very true.
Color path, it's a different green than the Packers, but the colorway and the look, I've always liked the going back to when they wore the white cleats back in the day, and that was their kind of signature
move.
And they had all the different combinations of jerseys. They were one of the first to do alternates, right? They were the first.
Yeah, the baseball version of Oregon.
Yeah, they were under Charlie Finley. And I haven't had much occasion to watch the Athletics in recent years.
And nobody did.
And seeing them in this little series,
3 cities,
it makes me think those are pretty kick-ass. They remain pretty cool and classic.
Well, and Drew, if it wasn't for the classic and the look, I would say you have to blow up the brand once you move to Las Vegas. But the Athletics is such an iconic brand in that a cap is one that a lot of people already. I'm not going to say that it's more famous than the Yankee hat, like JC said. I can make a Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. But it is one of the more iconic looks for sure. I don't think you can touch it. Like that would be one. Agreed, if it's a hot take, that would be the one of, no, we're just adopting it. And you guys now have a legit home here. We're not going to give you any funky spades number here that we're going to give you for a new look.
It's always been one of the cleanest looks in baseball. I totally agree. I love the Gothic A. I love the color scheme. it was always, it's one of the few hats I had that aren't the Brewers, but I do have an A's hat. I just have always loved it. It's similar to the Packers look, but the brilliance of the A's logo is that the letter on the hat is not the city, right? It's the team, and it's such a generic name that it's followed them from 4 markets, right? Philadelphia A's, Kansas City, obviously Oakland, now on to their next stop. So I would totally agree. I wouldn't change it. I don't think the Vegas franchise will when they have the Vegas A's, if we assume they're going to be the same, the Vegas A's. Honestly, I would just think about maybe changing the color scheme up to doing that black and gold thing and make it kind of uniform like Pittsburgh does with all their teams. Don't know if they want to do that. Obviously, the Raiders sort of had their own identity as it is, so maybe you could do that, but it does differentiate it a bit. But other than that, I would just, I wouldn't change it either. That's one of the best looks in all of sports.
Yeah, if you're going to change the color scheme, then I'd blow it up.
Right, you wouldn't do just black and gold.
No, I wouldn't just do that because, but then there's the part of if you're in the Las Vegas area, do you want to make it a little bit more your own? Because we talked about the Vegas Golden Knights dropping Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Drew, like that is Vegas's team. Like the locals are like, this is our team. The Raiders, we're glad they're here, and we're going to start supporting them. Maybe if they actually start winning a couple of games more than 4 a year. But that's their team, and it's not necessarily the ballpark that gets taken over by visiting fans. The A's are definitely going to be that right on that Trop site, I got to assume.
Right. The A's uniform is just part of my flashback this week because thanks to our pal El Jefe, who posted the other day on the first day, John Greenberg, president of the Milwaukee Admirals.
That was so cool.
Former media relations director of your Milwaukee Brewers. He posted, and I've kind of forgotten about this. Well, I'll never forget it, but it jogged the memory. He said, I remember being in Las Vegas for Brewers games in 1999. We were scheduled to play a pair of games there to end spring training before heading to St. Louis to start the regular season. The guys were excited to be there. It was going to be a unique experience. It was going to be a great way to finish a long spring season and get ready to start the 162-game regular season journey. There was only one problem. Mother Nature decided she didn't want to watch baseball in Vegas that weekend. It rained and rained and rained. Basically, it was a cow and a flat rock for the hard court reference. And both games were washed out, but not early enough to go back to Arizona and play games. And we weren't about to head to St. Louis and sit around. It was time to enjoy Vegas. Needless to say, everyone took full advantage. I think there were some what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas moments. And as I recall, the flight to St. Louis was really sleepy, as many flights home from Vegas have been known to be. Leaving the details out to protect the reputations of many.
Amen.
Forecast looks better for this week. Hopefully the Brewers will continue their winning ways. Go Brewers.
That's so good.
I was on that trip, and I can there was some stuff that happened on that trip that was quite memorable.
Now, he didn't name names. Will you name names?
Well, I did reply, and I said, I do remember it was one of the thrills of that was watching Matt Vasgersian lose his meal money in 30 seconds at the craps table.
That's a name you can name. You can name Matty V anytime,
Matty V number 7.
And we may have supported the arts a couple of nights.
Well, you gotta do
nice, yes.
That
you're in town.
Juncture, and we had some big fun.
Dance classes are really big out there.
Yeah,
well, really good.
When you're, what do they say? When you're on Broadway, you got to see a show. So that's the same idea when you're in Vegas.
And I ran into some friends. It was like we randomly ran into some friends who were there for a bachelor party. Armen, call back to last week, South Bay Stars. Yeah. So it was like Cheesehead Central, and for some reason there was a contingent of Admirals personnel in town at that juncture as well. So it was like the planets aligned. Yes. And it was
a great time,
memorable, forgettable weekend. But you're at the end of spring training, you're so fried. Huddle Court and I were like, we called it the sweatshop when you had to do all the copy. You've been working nonstop.
For 6 or 7 weeks, that's a different beast. And yes.
Spring training, as fun as it is to go out in Arizona, those mornings are early, right? You're in the manager's office.
There's some long days,
at 8 a.m.
Yep.
And you're there until like 5. Like, 8 to 5, that's a normal day. Well, yeah, but it's also a lot of work and a lot of grinding. And then you go home and have to work on special stories and special section stories. So yeah, you get pretty crispy by the end of spring training, and the season gives you a little jolt. But we were looking forward to that Vegas trip, and it ended up not being at all relaxing or refreshing. It made you more fried as we started the season.
The vacation from the vacation after that. That is so good. I made that drive up with the franchise one time after our spring training work was done, and flew out of Vegas after like 2 or 3 days. But when that's a week, you're like, okay, man, those are some longer days than you think. So, when that's a month and a half, that's a grind that after week 3, you've written all the stories about how sweet the ball sounds going into this guy's mitt, or how cool this one minor leaguer is. The digging and the standing and waiting for something to materialize, that'll bring some mundane times there at spring training.
Yeah, no question.
Now that was also young Matty V, which not that he's not any fun anymore.
That's fair.
Well, but he was a different. He from his own words to me, he was a different beast at that age. Just a carefree time, and he said that was his favorite time in his career when he's doing the Brewers game. So, did he do any Santa Maria when he didn't hit the point on the table? Or
he did
like
not. But
Great stuff.
then we ran into one of his college buddies, and we went to a new level. And shout out to his friend Ed Choi. We had quite an experience with Ed, Ed was a dude who was in the financial world. And he was one of these grinders that did like 70-hour weeks, but then he would go to Vegas and absolutely blow it out.
Do 70-hour weeks.
And we got to go along in the ride with his town cars and big cigars and motor cars, as Wojo would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Love that. Chetney checking in from Nashville in the YouTube comments. Thanks, Andrew Chetney. Mary, good morning, guys. Mary Goldbeck. I'm in Virginia and retired. I didn't get a nap from the Monday game and I watched last night. I need a nap today. Full-time RVer, and we'll see the Brewers game in Pittsburgh next month. I like that.
Let's go.
Doing the RV thing. Now, I hope you get the nap and before you're driving, if you are today. I don't know that she was, but the important thing is you're taking your nap later after the huddle. Well, we appreciate that.
Well, yeah, 100%, because otherwise you're just going back to bed.
No,
you're napping during the huddle. You just went back to bed.
Yeah.
This one, you're going to get a whole day in there. The full-time RVer is a life that I got to assume is a beautiful one to live, of just the freedom.
I would think so too, Billy.
We had one of our teachers in high school. My man just end of the school year is like, you know what? I think I'm done with this.
That was the summer.
I think I'm absolutely done. No. And then he's like, you know what? I just bought an RV and I am out of here. I'm not talking to one more of these kids. I'm done.
He called it a career.
Walked off, grabbed the RV. They sold everything they owned and just went through to the RV.
Young Billy sent him into retirement. Is that what I'm hearing?
I kind of think it was, because Mr. Anderson did come up to me the one day. He was my first hour stats teacher. And he gave me one of the funniest questions that I couldn't understand in the moment. Then I realized why he asked me. He goes, Billy, do you have a steady ride to school every morning?
What?
Like, yeah, I drive myself. He goes, oh, I just kind of hit or miss if you're here. I didn't know how he did that. If that was, if there was a little bit, he's like, yeah, Mr. Anderson, 7:15 is just tough. 7:15 is just tough to get in here every single day, especially when you got, study hall in hour 2, Drew. Yeah. That made for a nice extra 2 hours that you had built in there. And then he did. He said, you know what? I'm sick and tired of dealing with Bill Schmids in the world. I'm going to go live in the RV. Maybe go hang out in Virginia.
I like the way you just dropped that burn on you, though. That's pretty funny.
It was one of the better burns I've ever caught in a school place or workplace. Looked right at, steady ride to school? Yeah, that's my Grand Prix out here. It's got gas in it. Oh, okay. It just doesn't run apparently in the morning.
It doesn't run before certain times. Classic. 877-794-1973 to the NicolaLaw.com talking text line. Hot take hump day upon us. Now, there's been a lot of hot takes in the on social media regarding the Brewers announcement from the other day that they're going to add the premium area for the first 6 rows from the dugout to dugout, basically, and create a new truss club. In addition to a public plaza that's going to be for tailgaters who don't want to fire up their own grills and sit in the parking lot, they have an area to hang out. But the Truss Club and the exclusive padded wide seats and stuff, the luxury area in the first 6 rows, has pissed a lot of people off, including one of the Brewers' most famous fans, Front Row Amy, who put her opinion out.
Knew it was bad news when they told me that they wanted to schedule an in-person meeting going on Friday. She said, doesn't like it. Now,
so I don't have all the details, but it doesn't look good. Fans are not first in Milwaukee. So that's one of your number one fans, most notorious fans. And she's got a partial season ticket package in row 1 of section 117, right behind the plate. She gets a lot of screen time during games, keeps score. She's a great Brewers fan. I've talked to Amy in the past.
Also sells her tickets a lot.
Nice lady. When she can't go, she sells the tickets.
No, it's just a fact. She talks about it. I'm just saying.
She does. But there's a story in the Journal Sentinel. The Journal Sentinel story is above the fold today, and it's getting a lot of clicks. Ooh. And it's created a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, no shade to J.R. Radcliffe, but if you're going to do this story, and then I open the story, and it's basically what I read from her own social media post. I already follow Amy.
Yep.
You could have called her and gotten something fresh.
Yeah, because she would have definitely done it.
She could have reached out to her on social. And maybe he tried and couldn't get a hold of her. But the phenomenon and the anger of people who are like, they don't care about the common fan. They're creating this. Like, are you new here? Hey, do you see how sports works? Do you see how the Badgers have an exclusive area in the end zone that's totally revamped and done?
Yes.
The Bucks have Fiserv Forum where there's all kinds of areas that are not for the general public or the unwashed. They had a spot where you could sit in a private area and have drinks and food and snacks and watch the players walk to from the locker room to the court. Right. And that was kind of for the people who are in the David Gruber seats, the really close
first 3 rows or so, right?
Yeah. Seats. And then that wasn't good enough. So they tore down the media dining room. Screw the media. The Don Walker Media Dining Room.
We got
a more exclusive club within the club. We talk about the 5 o'clock club on the Huddle. The club within the club. The Bucks have now an exclusive VIP. The VIP of the VIP get to go to this room with a chef and a cocktail and a sommelier, and they get, hand carved meats and cheeses, finest meats and cheeses.
Everything you can possibly imagine.
It's the reality of sports. And so Front Row Amy might be presented with a situation like, okay, these prices for your location are going to go up. Do you want to stay or not? This happens every time the Packers raise prices or ask for whatever it is, a seat license or to keep your deal. It happens. It's part of doing business in sports. They're upgrading they're trying to maximize revenues. They're trying to do that too, so that they can then pay players and it's
keep up with the Joneses.
So I just don't first and not for nothing. The people in the first 6 rows are not the normal fans.
Very rarely. Yeah,
they're
very
not
rarely.
The people in the 400 level that go on the 2-for-1 Tuesday and take advantage of the kids club deal. They're not normal fans.
Point. That's the whole point.
Most of those people, I'm guessing, are going to say, okay, I'm in. I get to go to this extra area. I'm going to pay a little more.
Figure it out. Yeah.
They're already paying a lot for those seats, more than they're not going on tick pick hoping that, hey, if I wait till 10 minutes after the first pitch, I can get them.
Get them for cheaper. Yes. You're right.
It's a different universe already. So who are they squeezing? And if the Bucks were to say, okay, well, we're going to open a really exclusive club and some of the people that are buying seats in the first 3 rows get squeezed out. Give me a small violin to play for them. I'm sorry. It's the cost of doing it. It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. It's one of the reasons you mentioned the Badgers down at the Kohl Center. They also in the courtside area, the first 3 or 4 rows, they got some sweet tables set up that folks sit at. So there's always going to be a different class and a different exclusivity.
Have you traveled on a plane lately? You walk by first class to get to your seat in the cattle section?
Exactly. You definitely need to be able to add in ways to get in increased revenue while also feeling like people are in a special spot, because these are status events. As much as it is going and cheering on your team, you're sitting in the first 6 rows. You're posting pictures online for a reason, and right? You're hoping to be able to get yourself more screen time.
And you're digging it when you get screen time and people are calling you, thanks to the magic of HD and stuff. I've told the story before. My buddy Guido, the doorman, who I don't know if he'll keep his seats or not. I should ask Guido if what he plans to do. But
he'd be a perfect example.
The games that I sat next to him, my phone would blow up to the point where I just turn it off because it's like, hey, how's that beer taste? Hey, I see you eating peanuts.
And as much as people want, to avoid this issue, the reality is in society, there are people, and a lot of people, that want and will pay for any sort of exclusive VIP access to make themselves either more comfortable away from the quote unquote masses, or to make themselves feel good,
or just to have fun. That's another part of it. If this is your disposable income, if it's an individual person, right? I also think, I've gotten blessed a couple of times over the last couple of years to sit in that first row in 116.
The other night,
and because a buddy of mine at work won a raffle because their company has the 4 seats. They're not being used. Sweet. We're going to raffle them off to the employees. And then you get an opportunity to go and experience what it is. I still think that part is going to be there. It's going to be even bigger business, I would assume, for business holders. And there's still plenty of sweet spots right behind the dugout. That's an awesome seat. That's a great spot to be. There's first row down the line that will probably be the exact same way, where you can see the guys warm up and be very, very close. And those are probably better tick pick spots. But if I have the money and I have the opportunity to suite, I get dinner, valet, and I still get my sweet seat, and I got to go pay for what ultimately ends up probably being an extra $80, $90 to what those seats probably are on a day, on the full season or the half season package, Drew. I think you can very much justify it, where you're right. I love the package they did during the holiday season. You get 4-pack of tickets in the loge level. I'm like, sweet, loge level. Those are great seats. Those are exactly where I'll be sitting.
Right.
A lot better than 4th 25. So there's a common fan to fans being first, I just can't make the balance of it because they're adding an exclusive club that I think if I went across Major League Baseball stadiums, 27 of the 30 already have them?
Everyone's got something like this. The Bucks do. And the point is, everyone has a chance to do this if you want to pay the money. It's not like they're picking.
They just got to pull my numbers tonight.
That's what it is.
And that's the thing. Like they don't care
the
about the common fan. And again, people who's already sit in the first 6 rows, you're not really the common fan.
The common fan. That's why I can't.
You're the upper
this.
crust. You're the 1%ers already. So now we're going to have the 1% of the 1%. But
it's such a low hanging fruit to say that.
These seats. Now, okay, so it's first world problems. But look at like the Knicks and Celebrity Row. Right. And Ben Stiller's calling out other people because they're not in their seats by the start of the second half. They're in their they're rubbing elbows and they're the people who like the hedge fund people and stuff are they want to hang out and get a sneaky picture of Chalamet and Kylie for their Instagram and stuff. Say, look where I am. And they're not back out for the game. Like what Chalamet and Ben Stiller are hardos. Ben Stiller said a lot of those fans are casuals. Like he's calling out his fellow celebrities.
He's calling out the fellow celebrities saying the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Exactly. But I don't get the ire of this. They're not squeezing out the average fan.
No, terrorist
this
reserve.
This is already they're not squeezing out people in the terrorist reserve. They're not squeezing out people even further down the lines. It's for the first 6 rows from dugout to dugout, and those are already the upper crust.
Yeah.
So they're getting more money. It's like, I guess I'm a big tax the rich guy, right? Like corporations and rich people should pay a little more.
This is kind of what's happening.
Shouldn't have loopholes.
Right.
And that's what's happening with the Brewers. Go where the money is to get more money.
If there would be one that they weren't thinking of the normal fan, that was when they took away the Goodwill section for $10 bleachers tickets instead of 20 to make the sweet Miller Park landing. I've seen a lot of people hitting that Miller Lite landing a lot of different times and getting beers and standing out and hanging out.
And I've had this reaction when the Packers have raised tickets in the past, especially like after a losing season, or they missed the playoffs and still raise prices. Mm-hmm. Well, that ticket prices are not tied to performance. And when teams sign a free agent, it's not a justification to raise ticket prices. Ticket prices they're based on what they can charge. And the thing is, I've said it for 20 years, Packers tickets that the Packers sell to their fans, and I'm going to offend some people with this, they're underpriced. Because the fact that people who flip them and you can get into a Packers game, any game you want, paying double face value, tells me that the Packers could be charging double face value and still be getting those tickets. And it is kind of silly that they're losing the revenue on their own tickets. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want them to do anything sketch like Live Nation and Ticketmaster do, where they put tickets on sale for a concert and within 10 minutes you can buy verified resale tickets for twice the face value. That sucks and that's illegal and it shouldn't happen. But what teams do and what the Brewers are doing, I don't have a problem with this, and it's not an insult to the common fan, because to me, the common fan doesn't sit in the first 6 rows.
They don't. And this is also a difference. This is also a little bit different. They would have done the 6 rows if they would have done what a lot of teams are doing after 25 years of a sweet ballpark that was publicly funded. They tear that sumbitch down and they put a brand new one up. They would have put sweet 6-row bleacher or exclusive clubs and the 300 feet walk in for all the free food and all the free drinks you can have.
Well said, guys. Well said.
And they're not squeezing out the common fan. In fact, the common fan can still come and bring their own peanuts and spaghetti dinners into the water.
You got me messed up if I knew I was sitting front row and I still didn't bring that bag of Twizzlers.
Exactly.
Come on. I'm getting that thing in a resealable bag, Armen.
You can react to our takes. Hot Take Hump Day is upon us. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Dolph is next. Drew Wilson, Billy Schmidt, Armen Sarian. We're huddled up on a Wednesday in the good land, and we're joined by our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin, from the country station down the hall, FM 106 here in Milwaukee. And Dolph is a 5 o'clock club member
Yeah, he is.
of his own club. He's in his own league. But Dolph,
league of his own.
You're an honorary member of our 5 o'clock club in the huddle.
I'm honored
because we see you here and you turn on the coffee pot for Armen and Billy.
Just brew a good one.
That's true. I don't beat Armen by much in the door in the morning. You're here pretty early.
Nah, you beat me, but maybe I
yeah, but you're working.
Number.
You're working once you get here.
I'm walking.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm walking, so I'm working my body physically. I roll in about 3:45. Only business Karen is in the building before I am. I think she rolls in at like
she's
3.
the earliest. She's working. But I always know if you're here because the coffee's going. That's what Drew said, and it's true, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's the first thing I do.
I gotta say, I got a problem with both of you guys.
Okay, roll up.
It was about a week and a half ago, Drew, maybe now 2 weeks ago, that we had a sweet time during our halftime report where you guys were talking about this insanely cool cake that was sitting in the fridge, wondering who was going to dive into it.
Sure.
So have either of you guys taken a bite? Because that thing I just opened, it is still in there and untouched. You guys were sweating as to who was going to slice into the cake, and neither of you did it?
I actually did. I took a sliver.
Yeah, there's a legit slice out of that thing now.
I took a sliver that was
you?
there was already a sliver, which I assume was Chris from the sales department. It was her birthday.
Yeah.
So
like the champagne glass when they do the when people are doing the gender reveal, they just went and took a little bit of it off on the back. Sure.
So Friday, which was 5 days, the 5th day that it was in there, and on the 5th day, I took a sliver, and it was good. It was still good. Sure. I don't know if I'd want to go in there.
When
now.
does cake expire?
That's a great question.
That's the reason, Billy, I haven't, because we've gotten kind of to that point where I'm like, well, at this point, it's getting kind of old.
Well, because you were way too bashful about it.
Fine,
yeah, eyed it up the day after.
Well,
I'd rather be wrong doing that than being the guy that cut into someone's cake when it was probably going to be.
It was already cut into.
Well, I didn't know at the time. Well, was it a legit free-for-all cake? Was it, was it up for grabs, or was it?
I've seen you look at that thing 4 times, and you did not go and grab one bite.
I know someone in the building's put it in the fridge because it's her kid's 6th birthday, and I'm the one that ruined the birthday because I took a slice of cake, and I'll never get over that.
I don't think the kid would. I don't think the kid would have gotten over it if Dad had already taken a bite out of it before he got to the party anyway.
I tried to find Armen that day. That was the day you were off. I said, I'm going in. You going to join me?
Okay, because I was off. Yeah, I was off Friday.
Yeah.
I'm taking this thing. I'm finally going in. I just saw it again. I'm like, how on earth did neither of these cats go in there and just grab a big old slice of that double chocolate
maybe
cake?
It's a lesson learned. Maybe it's a lesson learned that in the future we just.
I think you've changed. Is the bigger one.
I haven't changed. What do you mean I changed? Because I don't need. Because what? Oh, since my Twitter account's been hacked, I don't eat cake. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I mean, this is the guy that wondered where all the donuts went from the staff meeting a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were going to throw them things in the locker room.
He was upset about that.
Very upset.
I'd rather have a donut than a piece of cake, though. I don't know about you guys.
A lot of people at weddings are doing donuts and donut towers instead of cakes.
I'm into donuts a lot more.
Our youngest, he never wanted a birthday cake. He always wanted a donut cake. So we'd go to Krispy Kreme and build this giant stack, pyramid of donuts.
That's what I got right here. Was from the mother-in-law's birthday. That was donut cakes instead from Maggie's Bakery.
As they say in the clubhouse, if you want to hit the sinker, you got to eat the sinker.
You got to eat it, yes. But I still got an hour and a half before I can hit the sinker, so I got to hold off a little bit.
Happy birthday, Ma. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it's like you go down the line of your preferred desserts. Cake is nice, but I'm not usually seeking it out, a piece of cake, if I can have a donut or a cookie. Now, Hunter, on the other hand, is a big cake guy, I think. He's a big cake
As long as
eater.
it's gluten-free.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be the right one, but I know
the right one.
He enjoys a piece of cake. Yeah.
I've always been a pie guy.
I don't love it.
I'm a savory, salty guy more than I'm a sweet guy, but I always like pie at the holidays.
Pie is another good one because you can put the ice cream on it if you want.
That's true. This is true. All right, so Dolph, on Hot Take Hump Day, the first hot take out of the chute since the Brewers are playing the A's, and it's reminded me that I like the A's uniforms. I think those are like top 5 for me. They're so crisp and classy in the colors. It just hits, and I guess in my mind, I go back to how it depends on how old you are. You either go back to Canseco, McGuire, and Ricky Henderson, or you might go back to like Joe Rudy and Bert Campaneris. And
so I go back that far, Drew, and you might, I don't know, but so
I kind of remember those teams.
I was obsessed with those teams in the 70s. I was just becoming, realizing what was going on the baseball field, and all those Bert Campaneris and Joe Rudy and Catfish Hunter and Sal Bando. Yeah. Those teams, and it was the uniforms. That's what I love most. And the yellow socks, the yellow and green with the white, the swinging A's, man. Those guys were so much fun.
Raleigh, our guy KB, always talks about the All-Star game in Milwaukee, like the 75, was it? 75 All-Star
75
game.
is correct.
75 County Stadium. It was and then the NBA All-Star game was in Milwaukee. Imagine that, All-Star games in Milwaukee.
Wow, that's crazy. Maybe they should try that again.
There were like 5 A's in that game, and they all had different uniform combinations on.
I love that.
Because they could do it. They would wear, whether it was the green or the yellow and the pants, and that was they had them. They mixed it up. They were the Oregon Ducks, like you're right, Billy. They were the Oregon Ducks
before the
70s.
Oregon Ducks. And I'll always remember that. I don't know which World Series it was because I think they went 3 years in a row. But Gene Tennis was the catcher, and I think he hit 3 home runs in one game, or I think he had 5 in the World Series. I don't know if he ever did anything after that. I know he kicked around the league for a while, but I'll always remember that team.
And Reggie Jackson was on that team. And that was the team that was like, 25 players, 25 cabs. They said they didn't get along. They fought in the clubhouse. Charlie Finley was their owner.
Cheapest guy ever.
And they had the white cleats. And then when they won and they repeated on the pennant, they would put like a pair of white cleats to denote that it was their second time. That was they didn't have a three-peat, but they had the cleats, and it was cool. It was just a vibe.
They understood how to market in those days for those things. Gene Tennis hit 4 homers during the 72 World Series against the
there you go.
Reds.
That was it.
We mentioned our buddy Matt Vasgersian and his adventure in the 1999 trip to Vegas that the Brewers took at the end of spring training that got rained out. And Matty comes from the Bay Area and is a huge longtime A's fans, and he loves those teams. Like he grew up like rooting for those teams.
I spent 7 years in the Bay Area, and there is a distinct difference, obviously, between those two cities, but between those two fan bases as well. And I really feel for the city of Oakland and the East Bay. And it's not just the city of Oakland. Those A's fans came from all over the Bay Area as well. But they lost the A's. They lost the Raiders twice. The Warriors are gone. They're and God forbid they go to San Francisco of all places, 7 miles across.
They weren't in the Oakland Coliseum anymore. Yeah.
No, and I don't know. The Sharks might even had a cup of coffee in that arena for a while. I know they played at the Cow Palace for a while, but you feel bad for Oakland because they've lost everything sports related.
Totally, and they had and that great players and players who were from there played for them, and
it was a much better place to watch a baseball game in those days because Candlestick Park was not only a dump, but it was freezing freaking cold. I remember my wife and I sitting there in our winter coats watching a game on the 4th of July because they had fireworks after. It was awful. I mean, they're playing the Phillies. Hot dog wrappers are flying 1,000 miles an hour all over the place. It was the worst place to watch a baseball game.
I went to that place too before they opened the new one, which is nice, but also can be very chilly.
Yeah. Yeah. And the A's, that was usually sunny and it was cool, but it was a little bit off the base. So you didn't have the brutal winds.
I think of the Oakland Coliseum, and all I can think of is the
fans,
the fans there. No, sorry, I don't think of Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. I think just of that beautiful section of folks, just faces painted down in the hell pit for the Raiders, just knowing they were giving folks the absolute business. Silver and black weren't on the field, but the fans were making that thing a hell spot to play in.
They were kind of one of the first ones to do that, right? Along with probably the Hogs and the Dog Pound. And it was so big out there, Billy, that Crazy George, which was one of the leaders of that section, opened his own restaurant in Santa Cruz a few miles south of San Francisco.
That's amazing.
And was wildly popular. And he'd come in and bang on his drum with his wild hair.
See, and that's what Fireman Ed, I think, wants to be with the Jets.
That's right.
But theirs was always so much better in Raiders.
And so there was Wild Bill with on the rooftop of the Orioles dugout.
Oh, yeah. That guy was wild.
And we talked in the past about Robin Ficker, the super fan behind the Wizards, the visiting bench at the old Bullets games, but now the Wizards.
Which leads us into this. What's going to happen now with Front Row Amy?
We've been talking about that.
Everybody wants to brand themselves.
I feel for Amy because she's one that's put out, but the general take on this, Dolph, is like the Brewers don't care about the common fan. The common fan doesn't sit in the first 6 rows.
Yeah, and the Brewers will tell you that they were only one of 2 major league teams without this special VIP club behind home plate.
And I'm bracing for the news. And when I'm so used to haven't been at that ballpark since it opened, like where the press box is, they're moving us out of there. They're going to make that into a VIP area, and like they're going to
They're
going to move us down the line somewhere.
Going?
It'll be down to that area in the right field line
that they're rebuilding.
It used to be no. I mean in right field where there used to be like the Gale Club, and there's an area there.
Oh yeah,
like the right field club level, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And that's kind of where we're going to end up because behind home plate is prime real estate, and that will end up being a place for hobnobbers, or it'll be a cocktail area. It'll be something they can use for events that, not during off-season event. I know it's coming. It's just inevitable. And that's why, to me, that was my take on it is
it's not the common fan that's getting squeezed. Because if you're in the first 6 rows with season tickets, you're shelling out a lot of money already.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are corporate.
Amy's kind of a unique situation, though. She
is.
one season ticket, right?
One seat.
Her husband's a firefighter, I believe.
Her husband doesn't care that much about baseball. It's her passion, and she drives down from Oshkosh for the games. And
I'm telling you, there's been nights in my friends group if we're texting, this is 2 nights in a row. Where's Amy? What's going on? She's not there.
Yeah.
You always look for Amy.
She doesn't go to all of them, and she sells some of them now. That's just what it is. It's okay. She just that's the reality.
But she's kind of like the Marlins guy during the playoffs. Okay, he's not here. What's going on? Where's Marlins guy?
I have a friend who knows that guy. He texts him a lot and stuff. So
we had him on the post-game show one time during the 2018 LCS. You want to talk about somebody that believed he was playing in the game?
Oh, big time.
My man believed he was
time.
on the field. That was a trip.
Amy's a special case, and she might not be able to afford the upgraded amenities and seats that they're going to ask, but they'll move her they'll take care of her in some way.
I hope so.
But again, it's like my heart's not bleeding for people who pay, who are squeezed out of their first 6 rows. You're already the upper crust. It's not the common fan who's getting squeezed here. It's the upper crust. Tax the rich.
And maybe it's mean, maybe it's cruel, but like I always think about it with this job, right? Like these chairs and this is all rented, right? Like we're here and they'll be going on long after. Yeah. Now gotten to sit in that chair for 25 years. Right? Or 20 years.
20 years.
At some particular point, times do change. And if you have to go to row 10, my goodness, you might even see the Miz fastball or the slider move a little bit different. Like it's a tough one, I guess, but I really struggle to be broken up and brokenhearted for this.
Yeah. I left the newspaper like 20 some years ago and they still publish.
Seats, right? It still rolls.
Seats are rented. They still publish. Although I picked it up the other day, the broadsheet. Oh my God. It was like it looked like a shopper. It looked like a weekly.
Sounded like
it was
the
mostly
Valpak.
high
I
school
got the mailer in there.
And I picked up like the Monday paper and it had Saturday night's game story in it.
Oh,
just like the first game. Like, why would anybody buy this?
Got to be so 1930s when they used to use a dictaphone.
Yeah, why did it? Well, even then you would get fresher news. Like, why would anybody pay for a newspaper, a Milwaukee newspaper that's printed in Peoria and trucked up to Milwaukee?
Especially when you have to pay extra to have the paper version and the online copy. Wait a second, I got to get 2 different ones.
It's just the sad state of our newspapers. Not to go too much on a diatribe, but when I was
jump
younger,
in there. Come on
when
now.
I was younger, there wasn't going to keep much to keep me from subscribing when I was older. Like I was like excited to get old one day and like have my own spot and say I'm going to get the paper every day. And there's no point in getting it now. Obviously,
there's ink in my blood, and I don't subscribe to the broadsheet anymore.
I mean,
I can
really
get fresher
sad.
news in the New York Times or USA Today than I can in the local.
I got it
paper.
forever.
We're both emaciated too. Now.
Got the paper thrown on my porch forever and ever, every day, and then it went to Sunday, and then when the landline left my house, I think that's when the newspaper
I used
left
to
my house.
walk to the newspaper box with my quarters on 51st and Edgerton and get my paper only when the Brewers won. I didn't want any bad news. And now it's just like it's just sad. And it's like, well, if you were gonna go,
did you walk uphill to that newspaper stand every day too?
On the way back, of course, it was downhill on the way there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was uphill both
Remember
ways.
when you traveled
with holes in your shoes too?
You'd get so excited at the
Rained every
airport
day.
because you had to have reading material when you're flying. So you grab the Journal Sentinel, you grab a USA Today.
Well, I would get the one that everyone had left in the airport. Oh, that's what I would
Yeah,
get.
Armen's going right into that recycling bin, Dolph. That's adorable that he was going to Hudson News to get that one.
There's no such thing as a used paper. It's just as good as if someone else bought it. I'll just, you know what? Someone else.
I'll borrow this.
I'll pick that thing up. There was every now and then. And it's just, even if you were to get it now, like you said, Drew, it's either old or it's not. There's nothing there. Like, I don't know.
You've read it. I say it's yesterday's news tomorrow.
Yes. That's why, luckily, the best kind of written actual print hold thing just came out a week ago. Phil Steele's College Football Guide.
There you go, Billy.
Come on, we're back.
I'm thinking of getting something like that. I was going to get Street and Smiths or Athlete. Still had some magazines. It's like $12 for that's the other thing. They're expensive now.
You should show up just for kicks at your fantasy football league with a stack of the latest
sporting news one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I had an idea for a while. First got to print out a Twitter feed. And like newspaper style, just read tweets, going through it.
Well, let's print out your tweets here about your crypto sales.
Do that. Yeah.
That's still right. Don't say that when you're under hacked.
Yeah. The nightmare continues.
Uncle, they haven't tweeted about me in 4 days. Now,
Buddy is getting smart though. Now he's just reposting Brewers content. He's voting for Bryce Terang for the All-Star game. So at least we got that one.
Really creepy. He's going an extra level to try to impersonate.
Congrats on that brand new house. That is a sweet fireplace.
We had to guess what country is Armen's hacker in. You think?
Great question.
I think it'd be just a beautiful thing if it was Armenia.
Oh,
The irony would be too rich.
It would be rich.
You got to hit
more
that
upset.
bell again. I can't. I'm not topping that. I was going to say somewhere in Nebraska would even be funnier, but that is way too good.
I think Russia, but it would get me so
Russia,
mad.
Latvia.
I'm like, come on, you're doing me, brother, like this. You're doing a brother. You're gonna hack an Armenian guy. You're gonna do a brother
Maybe
like
that's
that.
what drew them to your account.
Do you remember the commercial where the guy was being somebody was stealing his identity and he called and the guy said, "This is Peggy." The big guy with the beard answering the phone. Classic commercial.
I love it. I love it. All right, Dolph, thank you for popping in. Always appreciate your halftime thoughts.
Fellas.
We're having some fun here on the Huddle. It's Hot Take Hump Day. Get us your hot takes, 877-794-1973. We are broadcasting live, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. It's Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Wednesday. Drew, Billy, and Armen. 877-794-1973. Send us your hot takes. Hot take hump day. And we got one from Derek from Whitewater. Our conversation about the Brewers and their renovation of the first 6 rows, creating a VIP area for VIPs. A VIP within the VIP, if you will. Derek said the common fan was able to sit there once in a while. Now they won't be able to. It's a regressive tax, not a tax the rich situation. Well, Derek, no. Those are season seats. You can't just walk up to the window and buy those tickets.
You can buy them secondary, which you can still do that.
Which is you'll still be able to.
In theory,
it's going to be more. But so if the common fan could buy those seats on the secondary market, go to when's the last time anybody went to a Packers game and like got some, like they might release some because the Cardinals aren't using their allotment, so there's tickets available. But buying the idea of getting into a Packers game at face value, if you're not a season ticket holder, it's a dream. You can't.
Yeah,
it's possible.
No, you have to wait. You have to dream. You have to scout out, pick, and run through your numbers and look through and try to find the exact deal. It's always going to be a little different. It's always going to be a tough spot to be able to get yourself into. But I love the fact that we're now worried about our neighbor, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
Billy.
I think that's a good spot. That's a decent spot. We do care about our brother in here because it's go at the company guy. Unless you're Armen. I mean, he has not been a fan of Miss Amy Williams for a while.
I have nothing personal against her. I just don't know why.
I believe I've heard you call her on this radio show Milwaukee's most famous ticket broker. I believe is how I've heard you address her a couple of different times.
She lists the tickets every year, what she's selling and things like that. If you want to sit in my seats, I get it. It's you can't go to every game when you're a season ticket holder. It's your right to do it. I'm not against it.
This is Armen's longest gripe with season tickets. Well, if you have season tickets, you should go to all the games. Well, you can't. Sorry, I'm not going to make every single one of them. I apologize. That's not going to happen. And I'm also going to subsidize it. There's probably going to be a number of those if you buy the full package there that will bite off 25 of them to try to spray off and try to cut into a little bit of what they're paying throughout the year.
Yeah, and that's fair and that's understandable and that's anyone's right. It's just a comment I make that so many people are like martyring her, like, oh, what's going to happen to her? What's going to happen to her? She'll pay her. She does it like anybody else. Well, I don't think that's. And it's not being me. Look, she retweeted me the other day, Billy, when I was still in my account. I mean, I have some in debt to that, right? So
those tickets now, the first row tickets are like $195 a game, and they're going up to $245 with parking and a free club. Sounds like a deal that most people that are paying that will be.
It's a good deal. Yeah. Gas is going up too. Everything's going up.
You're gonna get parking and all-inclusive food and drink. Okay, you probably get some perks already.
Look at Blueberries.
And like the sixth row tickets are like 110. Now they're going to 245. That's a jump, but I still think people will take it and for in exchange for what you're getting.
Also,
wider seat.
Yeah. I also, and maybe this is just the, again, I'm maybe pie in the sky here. I could see this also being we had somebody say that it sounds like a great radio giveaway. Yeah. Russell Dickerson's a great radio giveaway. And just wait, we got some passes coming up in the 7:00 hour. But I could see this also, Drew, potentially being a silent auction item that the Brewers end up donating throughout. Hey, we got great opportunity for you to sit in the first 5 rows and you're a part of the trust club. They can break some of these off and they can be great chips that people can make a lot of money for a lot of different
Here's one for you.
companies.
What if front row Amy loses her nickname because the Brewers, instead of doing what they're doing, they moved the fence and they created a front row in front of the front row, and she'd be second row Amy, and they charge people for that. That's within their rights to do too. They could do that.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you're screwing. Like, no, they're just doing. They do what,
just moving
what they
around
can to make money. That's the business they're in.
As they one time said very famously on one of my favorite shows of all time, The Sopranos. We're running a business here.
Running a business here. Absolutely. We're running a business here too. We're glad you're hanging out with us. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Scott Dolphin. The Athletics beat the Brewers 7-5 in Las Vegas last night. Jackson Churio homered for the Crew. He and Sal Frelick each drove in a pair of runs. Robert Gasser struck out 7, but also gave up 6 earned runs. The Athletics hit 5 more home runs. They now have 12 long balls in the series. These two teams will wrap up that 3-game set tonight out in Las Vegas. The Brewers locking up another one of their prospects long-term. Milwaukee signed outfielder Luis Lara to a 7-year, $31 million contract extension. He is tearing up AAA right now, hitting .338 for Nashville this season. He also has 7 home runs and 19 stolen bases. Wisconsin football landing another commitment on Tuesday. 3-star safety James Roberson announced his pledge to the Badgers. He chose UW over offers from Mississippi State and TCU. The Packers will be back on the field today for the second of 3 mini-camp practices. The Stanley Cup final is all tied up after the Hurricanes' 5-3 win over the Golden Knights in Game 4 last night in Las Vegas. The Huddle is next. I'm Scott Dolphin on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boys got to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
We're not just enjoying a Wednesday in the good land. We're dominating this Wednesday in the good land. Hot Take Hump Day. Welcome in. It's 7:02. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian. You are among friends. You can reach us on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line 877-794-1973. But don't call us right now. Text us for sure, but don't call right now because, Billy, we have a special guest on line 1.
We have a very special guest, our friend Luis Olmos. Luis is the advertising director at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luis has been one of the all-time best Wisconsin sports fans and hangs out with us from the Potawatomi Sportsbook as Luis, not because we're talking about home runs being hit out in the desert. Las Vegas style sportsbook in the Midwest is pretty sweet. You guys got some sweet World Cup action because it is on and you are on the Huddle. Welcome in, brother. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm looking forward to the World Cup, starting out Thursday. I'm also looking forward to the Brewers getting out of that high school ballpark in Vegas. I cannot wait for that to be over. But how are you not there, Billy? I feel like this is a match made to happen for you. Like Brewers, Vegas, like that's everything. I'm shocked that you're here in Milwaukee talking to me.
Exactly.
Well, listen, if the Golden Knights would have been able to win this thing in 4, maybe I would have been able to get myself on out there with a couple of investments. But this is it's a heck of a time, man, and they're playing exceptionally well. I know you guys are buzzing. And quickly before we talk some World Cup, congratulations on an incredible merger. We love the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We love talking about the Green Bay Packers, and now you guys are the official sportsbook of the Green Bay Packers. How cool is that to be the first of its kind of landmark with the iconic sports brand in the state?
Oh no, it's unbelievable, right? From one official partner to another. Like you guys know what this comes with. You know how long this takes. You know the process of it all, right? And I think to have that official tag of official sports book of the Green Bay Packers, and first ever sports book of the Green Bay Packers. That's a historic franchise. That anytime you can put first ever, next to something, it's really great. So the team over at the Packers, everyone over there has been so great to work with. We're so excited to have the Potawatomi Sportsbook gate starting next year. The Potawatomi Sportsbook Champions Club. There's so many great things that are coming with this partnership, and we're beyond excited to just kind of team up with, really, in all of our opinions, probably the best football team in the world.
I know football season is high season for sports books, especially Potawatomi. You got games on Saturday. You got games every night now. It used to be
That's true. Yeah, there's only 2 days maybe.
NFL maybe intrudes, but I'm wondering, Louis said there's obviously plenty going on, and these late night Brewer games probably aren't bad for business, keeping people around watching to see if their investments come through, right?
Not at all. Our kitchen in the sportsbook there, it's open late anyway. It's open till midnight. So people are still able to get those mama's pancakes that Doug Russell made famous. But no, it's really great. People are there. They're wanting to cash their tickets before they go home. Maybe some of them had to come back on Tuesday after that Monday night marathon. But people are absolutely loving the buzz that the Brewers have, and everything that we're doing with them, along with those shuttles to the game every day. They're absolutely loving it.
It's the only shuttle in the state. There's a lot that come in the city. The only one in the city that you could potentially get paid to take to and from American Family Field is at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's the only one that could actually pay you to go.
Great point.
Luis, it's going to pay to go and watch some World Cup action at the Sportsbook, because already started up. You guys have your sweet scarf giveaway right now, commemorative scarf showing proof of a $50 wager or more on any tournament match. But it starts tomorrow. You guys got a football fiesta starting this thing up and kicking it off right for the World Cup in the States. How cool is it to be able to have this during normal viewing hours? Because we were joking that most of the time you almost had to do an NCAA tournament version if you were going to have a day at the sportsbook to watch soccer. Instead, you might just have to take 1 hour off and skip out on the last 3 o'clock hour of your shift to be able to go and enjoy.
Right. Tomorrow, with the game kicking off at 2 p.m., it's almost like a Brewer opening day, right? You kind of just have to you take a half day at noon, get down to the sportsbook, get there early, though, because the first 100 people to come in for Mexico, South Africa tomorrow, we're going to give you a free Bucanita. So the first 100 people are getting a free Bucanita cocktail, which is Bucanita whiskey and some pineapple juice. Armen, I think that's right up your alley.
Oh, I love that. Pineapple juice. Let's go. Yeah. I love that
stuff. So we're going to be doing that right away. Again, no reservations. You guys know normally we're big on reservations, but we're just kind of saying, you know what? It's the first time we're hosting, World Cup games. So no reservations. First come, first serve. We're going to give you guys free cocktails, and really just come in and enjoy this awesome tournament that only comes around every 4 years, but every 4 years is going to be in a brutal time zone for us. And we're waking up at 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, right, to watch these games. And then it kind of just ruins the day. So these are great start times. Yeah. Mexico tomorrow at 2 p.m. And the U.S. on Friday night, in prime time. Come on down, because we're going to have one screen on USA, one screen on the Brewer game. It's going to be an awesome environment in the sportsbook for the next month and a half.
Can't wait for that energy. And it's going to be, whoever's running the audio back there is going to be busy switching that audio back and forth, always doing their thing. But I love that free drink. It's all me. And aren't you excited, Luis, for the energy? Soccer fans bring a different type of energy, especially when it's in the sports book. I expect there to be really some excitement and energy in that sports book for these soccer games.
Yeah, tomorrow, one thing that we're doing that's just kind of different is, we're telling people, hey, for the Mexico game, we're throwing on the Spanish language broadcast in there. Normally everything's the English language broadcast.
Okay.
But, we know our audience. Let's throw on,
now we're talking. Come on, Duolingo. Drew's going to help you out here.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Finally, Drew, your Duolingo's going to come through. Yeah.
We're doing that Spanish language broadcast tomorrow, but then people forget, it's called the World Cup, right? World. How many different cultures do we have in this state? Where Colombia, Argentina,
Indeed.
Portugal, England, all these big names and all the storylines, right? Ronaldo's last World Cup, maybe. Messi, is he going to run it back? There's so many great things. England, can they finally get that monkey off their back? There's so many awesome things going on. And then top off the U.S. How far is the U.S. going to go?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of storylines in this tournament. And if you love soccer, if you're just a casual, you're going to be able to follow all of them. And you're right. All the cultures in this city, in this region, we're going to be celebrating all of them with the help of you guys. So I think that's a fantastic thing to do, Luis. The gathering place indeed.
And we have some great bets too. You can place futures on a lot of things. Top goal scorer, first and second place, golden ball, top assist, golden glove, FIFA young player, and then you can bet on winners of the groups, right? You can bet on regular time scores. Mexico's minus 250 favorite tomorrow night. So just kind of come on down, get the bets. It's we have so many soccer fans that love to place bets on these games. So, come on down, place the bets on. We have that 2,000-foot screen for you to watch these games.
Yeah, you're not going to watch it on a better screen and have more comfort sitting in the first couple of rows as well in those comfy chairs. One of my favorite things to do, Luis, is I just parlay a bunch of ties, because that I don't necessarily have an allegiance to either one, but then once one team scores, I immediately am a fan of the other, right? I'm immediately trying to get this thing to the equalizer, which might be the most exciting play in the sport. You guys got a lot of cool specials rolling around as well, I know, throughout, but you catch my eye more when you got Casamigos martinis or margaritas sitting there as well. And how are we going to break down on June 19th Casamigos Team Classic or Team Spicy? Because Luis, that feels like a runaway. That feels like U.S. against Paraguay. Team Spicy is going to dominate that one over Team Classic, isn't it?
And come on down. We're going to be doing margarita sampling and swag giveaways. So come on down and tell us which one's your favorite. I'm like, Team Spicy, early lead, but it's wrong to go. You can't bet against that classic, right? You can't bet against the classic. Like, it's been there for a long time. So I'm a fan of Team Classic. But come on down on the 19th, because we're going to be doing some great activations, all World Cup long.
Luis, I got to say, like the spillover, and I know a lot of people are soccer skeptics. It is a beautiful game. My first job in the business was covering soccer, and everybody's kid plays it, but you get an appreciation for it, especially when it's played at a high level. Watching high level soccer in the World Cup, the intensity, it is intoxicating. And if you go and there happens to be like a Stanley Cup game going on at the same time, or a Brewers game, you're going to be drawn to what's happening on the pitch. And I think people, and watching it in a group atmosphere, especially when people have investments either way, props on players or props on high scores or first goal and stuff like that, it's hard to tell people. They almost have to experience it. It's hard for me to tell people what it's going to be like to watch the World Cup in a group setting, and especially at a place like the Sportsbook at Potawatomi.
Well, you see it too. When you see these clips of like the guys lined up for the anthem, right, and the players are crying as their national anthem is playing, like, it means so much to them, because they know, take it Messi, right? Best guy to ever do it, but he didn't have that World Cup, and now he finally gets that World Cup last time around. That's all the validation he needed. Like, Messi is the undisputed GOAT now, right? So for some of these guys, like, if Harry Kane brings one home to England, you think he's ever having to pay for fish and chips or a pint ever again? No shot. What if it's Ronaldo Messi in like a semifinal or round of 16? Like, that might break like any Super Bowl rating ever. Like, the storylines are unreal. And then again, it's the U.S. playing on home soil on America's 250th. Like, come on now.
Well, that's why, Luis, you're coming out with a lot of these. They're real cute for Harry Kane. Let's ask him what happened 250 years ago. England's not catching any W's in America this year. I'm going to kick that one right down the curb for England. However, are we already seeing the groundswell of USA plays? Because hand raised in air, Luis. I'm not super confident, but I will go red, white, and blue to the nth degree coming up for the next month. I got my vuvuzela and everything ready to roll. How many folks are already lining up and investing in on the U.S., does it feel like?
Yeah, the U.S. is looking good. I'm like, I think a lot of people are kind of with you though, Billy. It's one of those, I'll show you. What have you done lately? And historically in World Cups, they get past group stage and then that's it, right? So what are Christian Pulisic and Serginho and Weston McKennie, what are all these guys going to do this year? I don't know. I think the weight of a country's on their shoulders,
right?
And they have to show up. It can't just be a get out of the group stage and then lose to Morocco. No disrespect to Morocco. I'm not trying to throw strays at them, but
let's be honest.
you have to do something. You have to really show this country why they've invested and why some of these guys are playing at the highest level out in Europe too. It's like, put up a shut up time, guys. Or else it's going to be a long, long summer.
You're absolutely right, Luis. And we've been waiting a long time for them to kind of have that breakthrough moment. And please, anything to avoid us getting another Alexei Lalas rant on TV. I mean, it seems like every time the U.S. plays, it's underwhelming, and Alexei is always pissed off.
Landon Donovan's taking over now, I think.
I mean, I get it. Maybe these guys need it with their engagement and with for content, but anything to avoid Alexei getting mad on television and telling these guys to bow up and all these things like that. So
I'd do anything just to avoid Alexei Lalas, period. I mean,
you said it. Listen, he was a great. Listen, I loved him in '94. I was 10 years old. He had the long hair. We were It was new and exciting. The U.S. was hosting, but man, it seems like he's always mad on TV. But hey, there's no one's going to be mad when they're at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And I also like, by the way, when you check it on the website or you go to the kiosk, this is also educational because when you bet on the teams, you have the little flag next to them. So there you go.
That is a nice dub, Armen.
You
You're
can
right.
learn about the flags. That's good stuff.
Fun with flags. Fun with flags. Sorry, Armen. Sorry.
It matters. All
what
right.
a classic. Luis, I mean, there is a friendly tonight. Tico's taking on England. Is there action on friendlies? Can we bet on that game tonight in Orlando?
Absolutely. You can bet on the fighting Sophia Minards against England. And Luis, me and Sophia, both Costa Ricans. Don't worry, we're very disappointed that we're having to watch the World Cup from home this year.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can play here's a fun fact about the sportsbook. Any FIFA sanctioned soccer league, you can place a bet. So it doesn't matter where the game is being played. If it's officially sanctioned by FIFA, you can get action on it. So that's really any soccer league in the world, as long as it's FIFA sanctioned.
Yes,
there's some afternoon action, and the question is, can the Ticos get on the board against England? It hasn't been going well. They switched managers. They got they're a team in flux right now. The Ticos are.
They're a traditional powerhouse. It was kind of shocking when they didn't make the
I
World
know.
Cup. Yeah.
It's but
that,
hey.
that plus 1900 next to my beautiful flag is a little disappointing. But hey, you know what? Crazier things have happened.
Well, that means it's a big payout when you win it. So come on now.
Big payout.
Well, when you guys all win it.
Well, it's fair. And when Armen goes and drops that one down, I know you guys are shaking in the boots when Armen steps up to the kiosk with those $1 million wagers. Luis, what about you mentioned it, kicking it off with the Brewers? They're back in town this week. There have been some big value, and I imagine a lot of division bets on the Brewers to win it. Probably not anymore that they're minus 330 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to win this division. You might not have any more franchise 15-1 wagers to sweat out here coming down the stretch.
The guy took us for a ride last year, but you can still get them at plus 1300 to win the World Series, right? I know a lot of people are big on them winning the World Series right now, and to win the pennant plus 800. Maybe get it before a certain left-handed pitcher can be traded here. But it's the value's still there if you believe in them to win the pennant, which I think a lot of people do. So I think if the Brewers win some trades here, that plus 800 could go down a little bit.
That's going to be epic.
That would be awesome.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I highly encourage people to dive into the World Cup, and it's an event that you can have fun watching a team with two countries that you couldn't find on a map. And then you get hooked in it, and then it starts rolling, and the tournament only gets better as it goes on, and the games get more high leverage.
That's right. You just said it, Drew. The games get better. They're more high leverage, and the intensity in those arenas, in those stadiums, is unmatched.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be cool to see. And tomorrow, Football Fiesta, Luis, starting up at 2 p.m. They might even be able to see the end taping of a Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. That's a hard thing to pass up there coming up tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Man, a special appearance by Billy Schmidt tomorrow. Well, sounds like there's going to be 99. Sounds like there's going to be 99 Bucanitas available tomorrow, fellas.
All right.
You better believe it.
I'm coming in 100%. too.
Line them up for that.
I'm going to come and hang out tomorrow as well. I think I got free afternoon, so why not?
But you got to test out that Duolingo you've been running through on the
absolutely.
Spanish language broadcast.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Man, every time I can, I'm working on it. Luis, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for getting up early. We appreciate it. We'll see you at the Sportsbook soon, and it's been great catching up.
You're the best, man. Thanks.
Thanks so much, fellas. Take care.
You bet. Luis Olmos, media manager for the Potawatomi Sportsbook and the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino, friend of the program.
Running it all now. I mean, running it all. And I've been knowing Luis for a long time. Back when I was trying to sell Karim Abdul-Jabbar bobbleheads outside the Bucks tent. He look over and he would just send people over. They got Oscar Robinson bobbleheads over there. You guys want to see? Wait, did you guys know Bob Labber? He played for the Bucks. We would try to change up the names of all of these greats and just see how many people would catch us.
Correct.
I want to make sure you didn't really think it was Robinson. I didn't think so, but I didn't. Now I get
He's messing around.
I get it now. I get it now.
Glenn Robertson bobblehead. The big cat was awesome.
The big cat,
dude. We had I actually did feel bad a couple of times where Luis would have to shield himself, walk over into the corner because they were laughing so hard. Wait, so this Karim, when did he play?
Karim.
Yeah, his name actually used to be Luis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sweet. I'm gonna have to check this guy out. Sounds like a great player.
Oh boy, Luis Alternator. Back when he played at USC.
Yeah, revving the engine for the Trojans. We had way too much fun entertaining ourselves for that State Fair day. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. We are having a blast on a Wednesday. Oh baby, we're nearing the home stretch. We're glad you're hanging out with us. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Employee owned for 40 years. Check them out at DonovanJorgensen.com.
How about this one for a Who's Hot last night, Drew? Braden Montgomery just became one of 5, a high 5 list of guys that have hit a walk-off home run in their major league debut. Happened last night for the Chicago White Sox. They're trailing the Atlanta Braves 5-4, and Montgomery with a heck of a journey. My man was selected 12th overall in 2024. He was a part of the Garrett Crochet trade from the Red Sox to the White Sox before the 2025 season. He was one of the key pieces there. And within 2 years of being drafted, he's in the majors and singles in his second plate appearance. It was his first hit and hit extra innings, a 2-run walk-off blast.
Oh,
and now that's also beating the team with the best record in all of baseball. And the White Sox, not cheeks.
How about the White Sox, huh? How about the Southsiders? Not that bad.
Don't look now.
Don't look now.
But if you start checking out those Major League Baseball standings on that beautiful page here on June 10th, 35 and 31 are the White Sox. And 34 and 33 are the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, the laughing stock of baseball for a couple of years, obviously.
The historically worst team baseball's ever seen for a couple of years ago.
And all of a sudden, they're just a half game back in the American League Comedy Central there from the Guardians. I'm going to steal one from Billy there. I like that Comedy Central. The American League Central hasn't been great, but the White Sox are in the mix right now. Yes, it's a little early, but I mean, we're getting close to Flag Day. So, it's only 4 days away. We can look at the standings. And, how about the White Sox winning 6 out of their last 10? The Guardians lost 7 out of their last 10, so they're right in the mix, and they're making things interesting in Chicago.
Yeah, we're now also in the hot category, sadly, against our beloved Brewers. Nick Kurtz, I don't know. Brewers fans probably don't see a whole lot of Nick Kurtz because, Drew, as you mentioned with the A's sweet jerseys, not a whole lot of reason to watch the A's over the last number of years.
Not really. No.
Nick Kurtz is the reason to watch the A's. He's got
good.
4 bombs in his last 3 games, 3 in the last 2 against the Crew. And he just demolishes baseballs. Like he's got a little bit almost of and I'm not using this hyperbole here. The stance, the hold of the bat, and the ferociousness at which he swings the bat reminds me a tick of Ohtani. Because I don't like Ohtani swings the bat as hard as I can remember anybody doing it since Prince Fielder, who I think he swung the bat harder than anybody I have ever seen. He had evil intentions with that piece of wood whenever he stepped up. Kurtz is right into that wheelhouse as well. So he's been phenomenal, sadly, against the Crew. Good as well as he hits a homer yesterday, and so does Tyler Soderstrom after a pair the other day. He hits one yesterday, 3 in 2 games. Those are in the hot category. Not category, the run differentials and the underbetters. Going out at the Potawatomi Sportsbook for this week. If you thought that it was going to auto-correct over to the other side and that you were going to be able to sneak in a win last night, no can do'sville.
Nope. Those infields are the grass hard-baked.
Is that one almost like tougher?
Spring training, too. In spring training, too, the infields are so hard. Hits go through that, and with regular humidity, moisture, and stuff gets sucked up.
When you hop one into the infield and it goes and rolls all the way to the left field,
gone.
That's a hard beast. That's a hard deal.
It's crazy.
You know who's hot in a different way are these ADs, especially the Big 12 ADs over the Sorsby ruling. They're hot because they're not happy about it. I read the article.
And who's not the NCAA?
Yeah, they did. They held the call to air out grievances. So it just sounded like a venting session, like the group text, we're just annoyed about it. But everyone seems to be pretty hot over this thing in a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know who else is hot? Luis Lara and his agent.
There we go. Come on now.
Brewers signed their one of their top prospects. It's such an embarrassment of riches, but he's an outfield prospect, 7 years, $31 million guaranteed, with the potential to be 10 years at 79 because they got 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
And he joins Churio and Cooper Pratt as guys getting contracts before they ever hit the big leagues. And the Brewers are taking risks on this, but it's a shared risk. And it's
shared risk. Yes.
And it's pretty cool that they're doing this for a small market team to get cost certainty. One of the best deals the Brewers had in the past years was Freddie Peralta.
Yeah.
They got him for a steal.
Yes.
And now they're doing that with these kids, wrapping them up. And it's a shared risk, but man, these kids get, generational wealth, and the Brewers get cost certainty, and they lock up pieces that look like they're going to be good. Like, yeah, okay, is there a chance this guy? Now everybody's like, okay, so now they signed him. He's on the 40-man. When's he coming to the big leagues? Well, it's going to take probably an injury to Mitchell, Churio, or Frelick.
Yeah,
but if that happens, he'll get the call. But they're not going to call him up to be Blake Perkins and bat once a week or twice a week.
This is for the future.
This is not for this year per se. He's ready. He's tearing up AAA.
Yeah.
But it's not, they're not making this move, and it's not about right now necessarily.
No, I'm with you on that, Drew, especially when Jake Bauers is hitting the way he
he's
is.
Another guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you're trying to find as many opportunities to keep him.
Him and Vaughn got to be in the lineup.
Yeah. Like you just can't do that. Now his clock, this contract obviously will start today, right? Like it would start now and then it rolls through. It doesn't have anything to do with your contractual status going forward or your arbitration and all that kind of stuff. That's now out the window. But he's 21. And when you started hearing different people that were down at spring training, and obviously Made, when the ball, hits the bat, just sounds different. You could tell he got a lot of the oxygen. I want to say it was Yonder Alonso was on with Greg Amsinger on MLB Network, and they did their 30 clubs in 30 days. And Alonso said, this Lara kid's the one that I'm watching. This dude's got the it factor. And when you got other former MLB players saying that and not being able to describe what exactly, Drew, the it is, but guys that have been around the game for 20 plus years kind of know it when they see it. You could tell throughout spring, he got a ton of confidence in himself, and it seems like he's just rolling it right through into the minor league season. He's had a phenomenal year, 21 years old, and you can't fake that glove, right? Like him and Pratt over the last, what is this now, 6-7 weeks that they've signed these two contracts. Maybe Pratt was a little earlier than that. One won a minor league gold glove, which, listening to Tim Dillard say it last night, potentially is harder to win than the Major League Baseball gold glove because you're going against all levels of the minors. The glove will play, and they think that the bat can be what pays off in the long run, right? Their baseline is you play elite defense, and we'll figure out the rest of the stuff with athleticism and scrap.
And I think it's interesting that they're doing that because I think we become more intelligent in some ways as a baseball community about defense and how much it actually equates to wins. And the Brewers have kind of tried to target that, I believe, in terms of, the Brewers are always trying to find a market inefficiency to create wins for the big league club without having to break the bank. And defensive war has been one of them. They've had a lot of really good players, defensive players that have created wins from their defense, maybe where people don't see it. Bryce Terang's a great example of that. And I think they're trying to do that with these guys. And guys, it's like the Brewers are making this their brand now in a way. At first, it was just like, wow, they're trying this thing with Jackson Churio to front low, give them this deal ahead of time. But now they're making this their brand. They did it with Pratt. They did it again with Lara. You have to imagine they're broaching a lot of minor league players that they like for the future with this type of opportunity, saying, look, this is one way we can do business. This is one way we can try and succeed. Present the idea of shared risk to the player and their agents and let them make the decision. I know some people look at these things differently. Like, why are you giving player money when they haven't earned it? But I think some people look at it the other way, saying, well, is this, I don't want to say predatory, but every player has their agency and their choice to make the move they feel is best for them. And some people like the security. Some players like the security of taking the deal earlier. And if that's the case for these guys and the Brewers are willing to do it, you would have to expect more of these types of deals to come down the line. And the Brewers are ideally trying to build a team of young talent that's locked in here for a while, assuming they pan out and reach the potential and realize the potential that we hope they will. Not all will, but I think the fact is, Billy, you mentioned it. If you have enough of these guys that everyone's talking about being, boy, the ball sounds different and generational prospects, you have more of those, then some are going to hit. And that's kind of the numbers game the Brewers are working with here.
That is correct, sir. So.
Does this put the players union, Drew, in your estimation in the not category with the
think so
pending negotiations? Does this have anything in your eyes bearing?
I'm not sure that this does, because again, they did it with Churio, and that was like you're reading the tea leaves. I don't know what the ramifications will be, but I think they're going to end up saving money on these guys, right?
Totally, I totally do. Yep.
I mean, if the option is, again, 7 at 31 million or 10 years at 79 million, I mean, you have a guy who's producing as a high level, like let's say he's an all-star level player, and you have him for an average annual value of like $8 million a year.
That's going to be a steal.
It's going to be a steal.
Yeah, and
Peralta again, like Peralta was making what, $5 million or something like that.
Yeah, he was making dirt almost at the back end of it, and that was why he was the most intriguing
opening day starter, making $5 million when the other guys in that role are making $25 million.
And that's why he was maybe the most intriguing trade piece because everybody could afford him.
It still is, right? I mean,
or even like I think he was making even if he was making like 8.
I think it was 5 over 15. So I don't know how it laid out, but it was an average of 3 over 5 years, 3 per year.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong. I think that's what it
No,
was.
you're right. And I think it was escalated up, like, maybe he made like $2 million in the first year, whatever it is. In 4 days, the Packers and Brewers, I think, both make shrewd $31 million guaranteed deals. Right? Like,
yes.
Lara, if he does pan out to be even a legitimate major league starter, that $8 million a year is a pretty solid value. It's depending on whatever the salary structure is in Major League Baseball. If there's a floor, if there's a cap, I do wonder if getting in some of these cost certain players does allow you to know then like how much more you'd have to spend into a cap or salary floor system. But this and the Watson deal, I think, are both high upside for the teams. But you can say that there's some shared risk here, right?
Yeah,
there's absolutely they could be leaving money on the table. But hard for me to be that brokenhearted or worried, Drew, when you now have generational wealth, right? Like the family now is taken care of, and you can just go and be the player that you hopefully are going to turn into.
Yep. Armen, you're right. Peralta signed a 5-year, $15.5 million contract with the Brewers at a $1.1 million signing bonus, $15 million guaranteed, average annual salary of $3 million. In 2026, they picked up an option, gave him 8. He was carrying a total salary of 8.
And
but he was your opening day starter, making like 3.7 and 5, and like that was a steal.
Right.
That's next level.
And baseball's not all about this Bean Counter stuff and analyzing risk, but a lot of it is for the Brewers. And I think they look at a straight analysis of cost per win in MLB, which depending on whatever stat you look at, Fangraph, usually like 8 or 9 million per win is what the market is. And that's brought up by a lot of the top tier teams. And the Brewers feel they can get wins for under that from players, they're going to go get it. And, if you get a guy like Lara making that type of money and he's giving you 2 or 3 per year based on WAR, that's a positive EV. And they're going to take that. And the Brewers are going to try and build a team like that to continue to win the way they have. And they've done that over the past, 6-8 years. They're doing it right now, and they're going to continue to try and do it for the future. So the way the Brewers do business is the envy of a lot of small markets because it works. As frustrated as we get sometimes about playoff moments and trying to come through and going to the World Series and the Dodgers and things like that, the Brewers do things the way a lot of small markets wish they could do it right now with the success they're having.
So does this now take I saw a couple of people saying this for trade ships going forward come deadline time. Does this put some other guys maybe squarely into the onto the page of potential sells? Like guys maybe at the major league level? I saw some people wondering, does this make Sal Frelick potentially expendable at the deadline if a team is wondering if he could be a centerpiece?
A centerpiece? I don't know, man.
That's fair.
They might have some Caleb Durbin doubts, right?
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. I mean, now
like Mitchell and Frelick aren't, what's their
Garrett
value?
Mitchell would be another one.
They're both cheap too. Well, that's the thing. They're at the point of their careers where they're not making a lot of money right now.
No. Yeah. I mean, and Mitchell had over 700 OPS player in the majors. That's somewhat valuable.
If they're a throw-in or if there's a deal the Brewers need to make, would you rather trade you're not trading Mate now. You're not trading, and he's probably next, right? I mean, Mate.
I would think he would be next. And then, Pena probably was in that untouchable category, but now he's had so many health issues that I don't necessarily know that that's even a possibility at this point.
Did they try to trade William Contreras or Terang in the offseason and move to the next level of,
We had a hot take on the talking text line. Buddy Pal said, on a serious business note, I like taking bites at the apple, but is Contreras going to be traded in the offseason? If so, is it imperative to make a big move while he's still here
to try and
they'll recoup the prospects when he's dealt? Is that a yes or a no? And that came right after Chris and Lodi said, if the Brewers can't sign Terang to an extended contract, now is the time to trade him for his max value. There's a good thought, Drew, that in the next, 18 months, both of those guys are somewhere else because you hope to be able to develop. But the catching spot, I think they were waiting for Jefferson Caro to be that guy and kind of take that mantle. And it's been a while since we were waiting for that.
Yeah, we'll see. It is time for our current electric superhero of the day. And I think it's got to be Jordan Stahl, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it was going to be Jordan Stahl, but actually I got one other one. And Armen, do you have this one over on the other side? As it should be on the Fox Sports 920 Twitter page is the best way to be able to follow the show. It's at FSRWI. And Brandon Bussey is the goaltender after the injury happened to Freddie Anderson in game number 3 of the Stanley Cup final. Brandon Bussey became the first ever undrafted first-year goaltender to start a Stanley Cup final game. And in the midst of the celebration, he talked after the game, and he was a hero last night for the Carolina Hurricanes, but he talked about his real heroes, and they showed him on TV last night.
Really neat to see both your parents, Rob and Lisa, your fiance, Mary, here as well. There's some great reactions, and then as you can imagine in the crowd. So I just wanted to see this. What do you think?
Oh, that's pretty special. So they're the reason why I'm able to do what I do right now. Their sacrifice means everything, and yeah, they're the best.
Just the fact that they're here watching this in person. I mean, what does that mean to you?
I mean, flying East Coast to Vegas in one day or this morning is a lot. It means a lot. I can't believe you guys just did that to me on TV. So.
I can't believe you guys just did that to me on TV. He had 18 saves last night, Drew, in the victory. The Carolina Hurricanes even it up at 2-2. He found out in the morning that he was going to start, called his fiance and his parents. They jumped on the first thing smoking out of, I believe, probably Charlotte instead of Raleigh, North Carolina. Got there for the puck drop last night in Sin City and got to watch their son do rather unthinkable, get the win last night as just a 27-year-old. He had some great numbers throughout the year, played a lot during the season for Carolina. They won 31 of his 39 starts, but ultimately gets the dub last night. And the Bussy boys, and that bus was rolling for the Canes last night.
Yeah. So he can share it with Jordan Stahl, who's, 20 years in the league, captain. Got 4. They're the new Sutters out of Thunder Bay. They got 4 brothers who played in the NHL. It's just insane.
And he's got 5 goals in the Cup final. There's like 2 other guys that have done that in hockey. One of them was Gretzky, and one of them, I believe, was Mario Lemieux.
Pretty good company.
That's not a bad spot to be in.
If you can be there, yeah.
Yep. Current Electric sponsors our superhero of the day. Call current.com, the best way to get a hold of them. You see the vans driving around the Milwaukee area with the superheroes on the side. They're superheroes, Billy.
They're waiting for you, and they're here to help you out because we already know generators. There's going to be some people listening to us today that are going to think back and be like, damn, I should have went to callcurrent.com and got that standby generator because going to get a little dicey weather-wise here today.
Some trees down, power lines down.
That power goes out for any extended period of time. You can be in some hot water. You can be in a very dicey situation, especially when it's 90 degrees and everything in the fridge has to get tossed out. So ask them about that. They also have a chance for some solar energy to be making you some money on that roof. Callcurrent.com.
Everybody stays safe out there. Yeah, it might get dicey, but hang in there. Check on your neighbors. The same stuff we always do. And be ready when it's
same stuff we always do.
We
do always go and check on our neighbors.
We should make sure we're good. We're neighbors out there, so make sure everyone's good out there. Just help each other out in these type of situations.
Good call, Armen. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, it's time to close up shop already. This show has flown by since we started the 5 o'clock club to now.
Clubbing it all morning. Where have you been?
Close it up with our happyplayshemp.com. Our wake and bake story of the day. Still time to squeeze in a hot take if you got one. 877-794-1973. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Time to close up shop on this edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen going to get to our Wake and Bake story momentarily. But first, an Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin injury update. Brandon Woodruff last evening, yesterday, I don't know if it was the evening, I can't say, Arizona Complex League. He had to start through 68 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts.
So the Complex League, Drew, can you explain to me so is that basically the extension of spring training? Like, do they kind of have a lot of the spring training rules where you're able to kind of bring guys in and out, allow them to just go to like a certain number and things like that? Because it feels like that's almost one of the ways that they've been trying to slow roll these guys instead of put you into a real game.
It's for injured guys, and it's basically like it is kind of extended spring, like you're in the complex. And he was scheduled for 4 innings and 60 to 65 pitches, and he got close.
Yeah, got close to it. Okay.
And Priester is going to pitch later this weekend. He's going to pitch 5 innings, 75 pitches. Jared Koenig's pitching tonight for Nashville.
Come on.
He's on the docket for
We
tonight.
need that arm back.
And Logan Henderson is now projected not to return until July. So Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, check out orthowisconsin.com. They sponsor our injury updates and anything about health. I had my hip replaced there. It's an awesome place. World-class care right here in our backyard. orthowisconsin.com.
Yeah, and Brian Fitzpatrick ends up being the 60-day IL move for Luis Lara getting put onto the 40-man roster. Dude, that's one of the sadder moments when you see a guy during warmups have the arm just go, and then it, and the emotion that he had at Coors Field. That was a tough one. Hopefully it ends up being better news. I know he's seeking a second opinion coming up apparently for that injury, so hopefully it's not as nearly as bad as they think it would be.
Time for our Wake and Bake story of the day, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Highly recommend the Drift Seltzer, the Drift Gummies, everything they make out of Muskego. Rob and Chris, they do a wonderful job. Check it out. Go to HappyPlaceHemp.com, fill your cart, use the code HUDDLE, the only code that still works, 25% off and free shipping wherever you are in the state of Wisconsin. They will ship it, and they ship with dizzying speed. Check out the wonderful products from HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy, what do you got for Waking and Bacon?
I got to say, I'm still struggling to not think that there had to be some kind of inhaling going on in that Lubbock courtroom, because the response to the temporary restraining order for Brendan Sorsby against the NCAA has not, a lot of times when there's a developing story and that there's a ruling on this, Drew, there are 2 contending sides. There are a grouping of people and a smattering of folks, even in the highest levels of college sports, that say, I kind of understand it. There's not one professional league across the world, as Dan Woken from ESPN, or Dan Wetzel from ESPN went through. He was on DP just after our show yesterday and said, I went through every FIFA sanctioned soccer league, every Chinese table tennis league. There's not one that allows you to break the third wall of sports and still compete and bet on your own game to potentially still play. The NCAA denied Texas Tech's appeal for reinstatement this past Friday for their quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, who they've allegedly paid over $6 million of NIL money to play here in the 2026 season. It continues to be one that you wonder if there was a French inhale, just a puff, pass deal, but every single league is now, Drew, trying to figure out how they can stop it.
Exactly.
And one Lubbock courtroom is just saying,
we don't care.
Try it. Try bringing it down here to West Texas. Good luck getting us past here.
Just amazing. Man, yeah, the more you think about it, the more ridiculous that situation is.
It really is. Every single time you read even more about it, it becomes even crazier to think of. Almost as crazy as Keyshawn Nixon allegedly holding out for some contract talks there in Green Bay.
Him not catching a ball that almost got the quarterback clipped. Did you see that?
Dude.
I mean, come on.
Now, Jordan Love didn't win the Heisman. That was a Heisman-esque pose to be able to stop that thing. Are you kidding me? What reflexes by number 10 there.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I also like that he showed, as Matt Schneidman from The Athletic put out, he's like, Jordan Love wanted to let everybody know, hey, look at how athletic this is. Look at how athletic this is. Jordan Love has a fish story for everybody. I love it.
Hey, we've got a pair of Summerfest tickets and some Russell Dickerson upfront wristbands to give away right now. 877-794-1973. Caller number 5, because we celebrated the 5 o'clock club today. Caller number 5 is going to win a pair of Summerfest tickets. Tomorrow will be a week away from the big gig.
How about that?
cannot
That's hard to
wait. It
believe,
is
but
so,
exciting.
so
Man,
close,
up.
dude.
I can't wait. One of my favorite times of the year. Oh, it's been a fun show today. Thanks to all the 5 o'clock club members. Thanks to everybody else who checked in. I've got a little event tonight that I may or may not be able to talk about today. It's an event this afternoon. It's kind of big. We'll be talking about it eventually. A little tease for you, but hope it goes smoothly. We'll see you at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Peace.